Noting the time of 7 p.m, February 17th, 2026, I called the Boxford Finance Committee meeting to order. We have Joe Stolpin, Michelle Ryan, Maria Nayland, John Connor and Tony Newton. Also here we have Ray John Hudson, Deputy Town Administrator, Honghua Lee, we have Ed Kukla from DPW, and we have John Kivlan from the Fire Department, and Gary Kushner and Susan Back. So first we have Ed, DPW. You're first up, Ed.
Great.
And you sent me some PDFs, which I find very hard to read because they're all upside down and sideways, and so I don't know whether you can talk through those or I can show them.
Yeah, they probably all came in different directions. I was hoping you'd
I'm
pass.
not sure.
You should be able to turn them, shouldn't you?
Okay, let's try. Let's see.
I mean,
I turned them today when I was looking at them.
Okay.
I know your biggest one was when we met the first time was about the transfer station funding. So that one there is obviously it's just the revenue and expense analysis, but we're more concerned with the expenses to show, you know, what the averages are over the years, just to kind of clarify where my point was for the number I was using at the first meeting. So, okay. You know, that is, it just, you know, if you look at everything that we spend money on the expenses, obviously our biggest one is, you know, solid waste and recycling. The other expenses really don't add up to much of a percentage when you look at the entire amount we have budgeted every year.
So what we're budgeting for next year for FY? Oh, sorry. What are we budgeting for FY27? This is FY26.
If you look at this sheet here,
okay.
Tony, the one that shows the estimate for FY27, and I know Maria had asked a question about if we thought it was enough, and at the time I was a little flustered because I couldn't find the information I was looking for. But
this one here?
Yes.
Okay, let me see if I can turn that on.
And
I feel like I'm in Alice in Wonderland.
And the,
okay.
You know, when she asked if that was going to be enough and if we were worried about having to come back for, you know, more money at the end of the year if we went over, my thought should have been, well, we were asked to make sure our budget didn't exceed a certain percentage. And where I found a lot of our money was in this budget, where if you looked at our, you know, funding through the year was at 192,000, and we were never near that. We were always in the 150, 160 range. So I figured, well, we could cut it down and help with that percentage at the budget at that time to keep it at the percentage that we were asked to. Because this was a bigger expense that I could draw money from. But I do get Maria's point that, you know, what happens if we have a run on solid waste or recycling, which, as you can see, we're spending more per ton right now for recycling than we are for solid waste. And I don't see that number ever going back down to where it was back in fiscal 22, where there were months we were getting rebates. That was a time when we were being able to ship our recycling out of the country, and we were actually getting money back for everything. And now it's very minimal on what we get, you know, if we get anything from what we send over to them. That's why the cost is so expensive, because there is not the amount that is recycled in this country as there was when they're sending it over to other countries. So I do agree with Maria that 165 is probably low. You know, do we keep it at the 100 and I believe it was 192,000 that we originally started with? I mean, the cost of any of this is not going away. It's going up every year. Solid waste is increasing by approximately $5 to $6 a ton per year per our contract, and so even if we based it on the average tons, if you do the math, you're gonna, within the next year or two, we're gonna be up at that $192,000 range with the cost of just our solid waste and our recycling.
So, but the amount of tonnage per year is sort of flat to going down slightly, right?
Yeah, but I estimated this year, and what we have estimated for half a year is right around the 860 tons that I estimated for solid waste. If you look at that, the 865.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure we want to, keep it at the 165 that I originally thought we could get through with, because as Maria noted, I don't want to have to come back for a reserve fund transfer and ask for more money because we are over that number.
Right. No. So, what makes you think it's? Why do you think it's not going up? I suppose each year by year, or is it slightly going down? Actually, I think.
We have a pretty, excuse my pun, we have a pretty good fan base of the same. It seems like we average about 1,000 people that use the recycling center.
Yeah.
I think that with a family, for the most part, you probably use the same, or throw away the most amount of trash recycling you do every year. I mean, unless you have something drastic in your family, or if Christmas time obviously is going to be a big time, but we never really see the numbers really go too high or too low with the number of people that buy our transfer station stickers. So I do think that those numbers stay that way. I mean, I'm just guessing. I don't see the food as being a big generator of having that solid waste going down this year, because it really isn't that much that we take out of that stream. And unfortunately, we pay a lot of money to take it out of the stream, because it does cost more to get rid of that than it does to get rid of our solid waste. But I do think that we probably will find that we'll probably stay flat as long as you see those numbers of sticker purchases every year remain pretty constant. But it's just a guess. I mean, I know what I throw out on a weekly basis and put out for bags that I have to buy, and it's, one a week.
Yeah.
So I would think most families know, do the same thing too. But I'm just thinking outside the box that might be why.
And what are your thoughts on sticker prices? I mean, what's the discussion been on that?
I don't know how long they've been $150.
A long
Can you go
time.
back to the other slide?
They've been 150 probably.
I've been here 9 years, and it's
Right.
been 150.
And it was before, I think you and I got onto the board, I got on the select board around the same time,
Okay,
and it was before that.
okay.
It's been 150 for many years.
So, it is, as they say, it's the best deal in town. And, it's obviously not a decision for me to make, but with the cost of what it costs to run the transfer station, operate it, and to get rid of everything we get rid of, there should be some type of increase every year.
At least index link it or something, right?
Mhm.
Right?
You'd think, yeah.
I would agree that you would
Yeah.
link it.
Yeah.
We offer, a lot of services that are free that there aren't any other towns that really offer those, like the white goods, batteries, the light bulbs, electronics. Those are things you usually have to purchase some type of sticker to get rid of them, or pay a fee. I think they used to do that years ago, many years ago, where you paid a certain amount to get rid of it, and then that was taken off the table, and it just went to a flat fee. But it's something that I would think you'd have to think about.
Am I
Just-
looking at this correctly? So we have the same number of seniors who do not pay as the number of people who do pay? Is that correct?
It's pretty close.
So our percentage of seniors is, I think 30%?
Yeah.
of the town population, right?
Right.
And that's actually at 65, so 30% is 60 and above.
Okay,
The free stickers is at 65,
yep.
which bummed me out, because I hit 60 and was thinking I was gonna get a free sticker and forget about that. But anyway, so it's a slightly less number, but,
So, but another way of looking at it is more than half the people who use this facility do not pay for it.
Right,
directly.
yeah.
Yep.
well, because the problem is, I think the younger families, the newer families moving into town, there's not a really great education program for how to use the transfer station. Like, you know, really, like,
Well, but do we want them to use the transfer station? I mean, it may cost us money. If more who use it, may cost us more money.
well, I'm just saying that's why it's like, that's why, you know, the people who've been in town for a long time are older and they know about the transfer station, best deal in town, right?
Yep.
And people moving in don't necessarily understand the whole process.
Well, let's
and-
keep it secret.
No.
We need to-
Wait. The
But-
alternative is like a far more expensive option for the
Yeah.
town, right? So like we do want people to use the
It-
transfer
um,
station.
Well, no,
It's the
that's the opposite.
Why is that the
If
Well,
opposite?
you
like,
have
I'm
more
talking about
people,
from, like, a
if you have more
consumer
people that use
perspective.
it, you're gonna generate more trash
Yeah.
that needs to cost the town more money.
But it's gonna cost
Right.
town more money if the alternative is bringing in trash pickup.
Right, that's where I'm
Well,
going with
Well,
it.
Yeah,
no,
if-
because we don't pay for
Didn't we
that.
talk about
We,
this?
People pay for that individually, right?
right, but
Well,
we,
that's
but.
private
sus-
trash pickup.
That's
What
what
I'm
we're
saying
talking
is
about.
like
Yeah.
town trash pickup.
No.
The
Oh, no,
alternative would be
no.
Oh,
like,
that's- yeah.
Because
Well, the alternative would be
sustainability
like-
has talked about that.
pay-as-you-throw,
Sustainability is pay as you
correct.
throw,
Yeah.
or does it make sense to bring them curbside pickup? And they
Yeah,
can
we've
get
debated
grants
this.
for the first year. Great, what happens year two
No.
and beyond?
but can I
So-
ask like a crazy question?
No question is crazy.
Well,
I feel like
let's find out.
I'm gonna get crucified for this one. The free senior sticker.
Yeah.
What's the history there? Is that just like a service to our seniors? Is that just like a
Yeah, so
goodwill
when it was
gesture?
originally,
That was before my
the
time.
stickers were.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
The transfer station was a little bit, it was higher, it was more expensive, and then they lowered it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the board, so it was before me, they then made it 150. You used to be able to get 2 stickers. So then it became 150, you get 1 sticker. And then, for some reason during that whole conversation, somehow it ended up being, because a lot of people said, just add it to our taxes, right? Because then we can write it off. We can't write a transfer sticker off.
Okay.
But then, the problem with that, there was a whole lot of people who said, don't do that, because it just gets lost in there, and then all of a sudden, we're still gonna be asking down the line in 3 years for transfer stickers. So it was just one of those
Okay.
things that we did as, for seniors, I think. If I remember correctly, the select board just did
Yeah.
it for seniors as a, you know,
Okay, yeah.
thanks for living in town and paying for the schools, because the seniors really don't, you know,
Yeah.
pay a lot of taxes.
Yeah, I think it'd be very unpopular to take that away.
No, I'm not advocating for or against. I'm just curious. Like, I don't know the history of the transfer station as well, and the composting as well. Because I see there's a pretty high cost for 6
Totes?
totes
Yeah.
versus I think the solid waste is of a magnitude cheaper. So
It-
is
it,
there a
it-
demand for that?
They get filled up pretty quickly.
Okay.
We average paying by the, you know, if you take what we get per month in, or pay for the $444, I think it is right now, and the tonnage we get rid of, we pay about $170 a ton to get rid of it,
Yeah.
compared to the 113,
Yeah, it's much lower.
yeah, much lower. But,
So that
you
was
know,
like a consumer demand, or was that just like?
it's a,
Sustainability
Yeah.
yeah.
came up with
sustain-
that and
Green
pushed
communities
that.
requirement?
No,
I think it's-
No.
Like,
there's
is it
no
a
requirement for
requirement?
getting
Okay.
that. It's
It's
something
just a
they
ben-
want
it's
to
a
take
benefit to the
out of
environment,
the
right, like,
stream,
because-
that DEP would like to see you take out of the stream, so it doesn't fill landfills. I mean, we have so few landfills now, it doesn't matter, none are opening up. And that's gonna, you know, become an issue too, because they're not building any more plants that burn it for waste to energy. So it does help. I mean, if you do it, you know, with the 351 communities and everybody's taking it out, that's a big number it's gonna add up to. But, you know, in our little part of it, it costs the town a lot of money to get rid of it.
Well, I guess the big picture is it'd be good to see that the transfer station is self-sustaining from stickers. Right? I mean, that would be the ideal, which it seems to be at the moment. And should continue, but we may need to,
Well,
it's not actual.
it's been going the other way since 2023, where you can see, if you look at the red number on that sheet on the bottom, you'll see that where every year it's about $10,000
Right.
deeper into the red.
But 26 was not.
26 yeah, but that's only half a year.
Okay, so you're saying by the end of the year we'll be in the red.
We're gonna be in the red.
Okay.
We're not that far off, because there's only, after 6 months, there's only $8,000,
So you're thinking that by the end of the year we'll be
40 to 50.
40, 50 in the red.
Yep.
Okay. So it would seem to me that we ought to. It's not really our choice what our decision what the sticker fee should be, but it would seem that we ought to, as a town, be thinking about making it self-sustaining, right?
Right, so they're looking at that, right? The select board's looking at fees.
I know that Mike had somebody planning to go through all the fees, and they're gonna be looking at those to see what other communities charge for all these. I don't know where that is in the process right now, but that is something that, I think it was a college student did,
Like an intern.
an intern, yes. So that's one of the things they were looking at.
Because I think the select board has to vote the fees every year.
Yes, I have to send them a thing.
And so as part of the budget process, they do that vote. So I think they're gonna be talking about it. I don't know that it will change this year. I don't know, but
That vote's coming up before.
Yes,
it's coming up
I usually
before
send
May,
it-
but like it's
yeah.
coming up before we have to vote,
Yeah.
you know. But yes, it's
Yes.
coming up. It should be coming up before May, because it can't really, it's, in theory, you gotta set
It
the
would
fee.
impact, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, and I do. I usually send it, I would say middle of March to beginning of April, the letter,
And-
just keep the fee, either, I recommend keeping them the same, because I don't have the, the authority to say we should raise them. I mean, I can offer that, but it's something they're gonna have to decide. And
Yeah.
I don't know if we're giving everybody enough time to absorb that if they do get raised, because there are some people that have turned 65 and like that free.
well, I do think that, as you said, I think that would be tough to take away from the seniors.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I know that when I went to a couple of housing board meetings last year, they talking about people that are in affordable housing in town could use a break on the sticker fee. So they were gonna run with that. I don't think they have, but that may be something that comes up this year. They're looking at cost.
You also get 2 stickers for 1 fee, maybe the second sticker.
Yeah, they both,
could cost money.
seniors in, yep. Yeah.
I mean,
So-
for a regular sticker too, like.
Oh, that's what it was. You got one sticker,
Yeah, did we say?
and then you used to pay for the second sticker.
Yeah, we
That's
said
what
the
it
second
was.
sticker isn't gonna increase more traffic, it's just
Right,
convenient.
It's a convenience thing.
right.
Yeah, but for the
Yeah.
convenience, a household to have a second car, be able to go, I mean, extra $50 or something could boost our revenue over there a lot, and I don't think people would say that that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
you know?
without taking away from.
Like,
So it used to be that way.
I have
We would
private
go
trash
back to
pickup.
that.
I've been to the transfer station twice in the 3 years I've lived here.
You're
I'd love to
missing
go
out.
more. I'm usually busy on Wednesdays and the Saturdays. I'm happy to do it, but like, my wife has a sticker. She's never been. So I paid one fee. I have 2 stickers. I've used it twice. So you're welcome, everyone, for offsetting. At the same time, like, I don't know. I would have paid $50 extra for the second sticker and not thought I was getting raked over the coals for that.
Right, so the other thing, Ed, is, so we have curbside pickup, but we have a sticker that we use just for recycling. So, maybe that's another thing to think about. There are people who are like, I don't want my stinky garbage hanging around my
Yep.
house if I miss a Saturday, right?
Yep.
But my recycling, so that's why, so we have curbside because my husband isn't always available on Saturdays, and if he can't make it to the dump, I don't want my stinky garbage hanging out.
Right.
So, we do it for recycling, and then if he can't make it to the transfer station for recycling, I don't care, because it can sit for a week.
Yes.
There's just 2 of us. So maybe a recycling only, I just don't know how you police that.
Right,
But
that's-
maybe a recycling only is something to think about.
Because that is a hard thing. I mean, Greg has filled in for Bo, who used to be a guy who didn't care what people thought, when he said, hey, if you don't get a sticker, you're not coming back in. And he's actually written plates down. We've actually sent, well, I haven't, but Karen Gazzardi has sent, she has a form letter she sends to remind them that they need a sticker. We do have a couple that fight it and still go in there, and Greg will say, you can't come in, and these people ignore them. So it's.
Don't get between people, their garbage, and the transfer station.
Well, we also have pretty I think these are increasing, correct me if I'm wrong, the electronics pickups are pretty expensive, like mattress picks, things that generally aren't offered by just like municipal trash pickup. Like
Right.
where I lived in California, we had a trash can this big and then everything else was an add-on fee.
Yep.
And I'm not saying make the transfer station like that because I live and die with the transfer station. I'm appalled that you're not there every Saturday like me, but I think like you offer a lot of services, like a
Yeah.
lot of services, like light bulbs, electronics, has waste, like all in one particular spot. Like maybe large hauls cost something extra and they pick it up from your house, but it's more economical than picking it from the transfer. I don't know. I think there's options there.
Yeah, but as far as budget's concerned this year, it sounds,
Yeah.
nothing's going to change, right? I mean,
So,
it is
so
what
can
it
I
is.
understand where this budget is? I'm trying to find it. So you have it budgeted at, what did you say?
I think the budget for this fiscal year is 192,000.
Okay, so I'm not seeing that because I'm seeing
can-
transfer station budget tonnage, $150,000, FY '27 in progress. And then I see.
Yeah, but that's for 27,
27,
yeah, but
talking about for,
26 is not 100 and, this is for next year, the 27. Our
Transfer
budget is
station.
190-something thousand, that's why I decreased it to,
oh, you decreased it to 150,
well, 165
but
is,
it's not 165.
Yeah, I see one.
It's 150.
I see
Am I
150 too.
right?
Yeah, I'm on line
150.
201, Public Works Transfer Station.
oh, yes, yeah, oh, I'm sorry, yes, you are correct. And and that was where my budget savings was at the time to keep us in our, our percentage.
And I appreciate that all the department heads did that, but then, we also need to be realistic.
Yes.
So do you think 150,000 is realistic? So based on what you
It's
said.
gonna be close.
It's gonna be.
So I'd
close.
rather, I think, after I got back to the office the next day and started thinking about it and what you said, if you look at what our increases are gonna be yearly, we're gonna reach that 192,000 that we have as an original budget now in probably 3 years. So,
Okay.
Can we keep it that way for that time until we actually need to start thinking about?
No, because we don't want to tax people, right? So you got to tax people what
Yeah.
realistically you're going to spend.
All right, so I did another estimate, and I said 165. That would be closer.
Yeah, because this is a reduction from the FY '25 budget. And the FY '26, and FY '26, so
Yeah,
it was 173 in '26,
160.
and then it was 173 in '25, and then 150 for this year.
It went there, so, but the one, what was it, if you put it
Right,
back to
150 for this
150?
year, right?
So it's gone down.
Right.
It's 174 right now.
Wait.
Because 150 is
Wait.
for the tonnage
Okay.
tipping, then you have we have a trucking fee just in case our truck goes down for $5,000, which
So
we've
you-
used once already.
Okay, so,
You add them all,
Okay.
you added them all together then, all these three lines.
Yes. And then
174.
19.5 is for all the other goods that we collect
Yeah.
at the transfer station that get paid out of a different line item.
Right, but last year's budget, or sorry, this year's budget, FY '26, is a total of 197,500.
Yes, FY '26. In FY '27, I asked for 174.5.
A
and is
reduction.
174.5 realistic?
I believe so. I went with a new sheet that I estimated the tonnage, and I do think that should be, with what I'm estimating for the last 5 years.
Right.
And that 174.5 is for those three lines together,
Yes,
right?
it is.
All three of your
I
lines,
see what you
tonnage,
did.
trucking,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
bulk
these three-
recycling.
And then,
That's this.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to increase 150 to
That's that
160.
worksheet, okay.
Well, that could, if she wants to do
Okay.
it. But that would bring us right back to where we were.
Okay.
Okay. So,
So-
all right, so are we comfortable with this then?
Well, yeah, well, we don't
Seems
want
to
to make him increase it.
No, we don't want to increase it for the
But-
sake of increasing, we just want to make sure you were good.
But we want to make sure you're also okay and not
Yeah.
come back for reserve time transfer early in the year.
Unless we have a run on stickers, an increase in stickers.
So are we working with, so I know that for a while Francie was working on trying to increase education around the transfer station and stickers.
Yeah.
Is anyone doing that? Like, are we doing that?
Well, I don't know who.
Well, Francie's now gone, but
Right,
like, you
right,
know.
who Francie passed to Kate.
Yeah.
I know Kate does try to get the word out to everybody, and, the new one was the swap shed that, you know, she was trying to get people to use instead of throw things away into the trash. So, you know, we do have a lot of information on our website, on the transfer station website that shows, but getting them there to look at it, you know, is.
Yeah, it's almost like we need a new button that the whole town-wide can say, new to town, push button. And
Yeah.
then everyone goes to that page and it says transfer station
We
and,
have like a flyer, we have like a packet.
yeah, but
Yeah,
you
in the
know,
packet, right, do you have a
most
packet
people
you give
moving
to
in
residents?
are not gonna get the
I
flyer,
got a
right?
packet.
Yeah, you got a packet?
I,
when you
I
moved in?
came, well, I came here, so I was like, what do I do with my
Yeah,
trash?
so there you go.
I was like, what do you mean? There's no trash pickup? So I, and I go to town hall.
Joe, how much is trash pickup?
Trash pickup, like, private?
Yeah.
I'd have to check on it.
Oh,
It's billed like quarterly, so.
I would bet it's $800 a year
It's
anyway.
about
Yeah,
$800
it's
a
close to
year.
that.
It's expensive.
Do you
I
get,
can
do you
check it.
get charged extra for them to put your barrels directly in front of your driveway, so you have to stop your truck in the middle of the road and move it every week?
Hey, you know, because
Every
of
week,
the
they
scenic
block
rock
his
wall
driveway.
bylaws, I have a pretty narrow driveway. I can't put it on the in front of the road.
Every Friday, I look out and think, I would lose my mind, and I would be waiting for them next week.
I'm just gonna make a point that this system would pay for itself if everybody paid by a good margin.
You mean, but the seniors, you mean?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, just a nominal fee. It has to be considered,
I-
because
or-
they are actually
It's,
the
but it's not,
majority of
well, A, it's
people.
not, it's not our
And I'm
decision.
sorry.
It's not our
I'm in
decision.
agreement with you.
I know.
I'm at
I
about
actually would like
850
to know.
850
850,
right now.
I mean, come on.
After an increase.
But what about
incredible.
like, you know, $20?
And
Well, I
that's,
think
that's only
nominal
for
fee.
trash and recycling.
And sometimes they
that's
actually
not
close
the-
the lid so it doesn't get rained on and filled up.
Gross.
But the question is, how many seniors get stickers for free?
Well,
And so,
if
oh,
the
wait,
numbers are right up
oh.
there all the
lot.
time.
Well, there's two people in the room, but, do we have that number?
Yeah, yeah, it's right here.
It's right here in the top
All right,
lines.
hold on.
It's the top
It's
one,
more
and this
than the
one.
people who paid for it.
Yeah.
It's
That's
460.
why I brought it up. I'm like, is this like a
Okay.
archival
It's
thing?
487, and it's in the green portion on the top of that slide. That one you just had
Wow.
up there. Tony.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Right there, yep. If you look at that greenish, darker greenish, you'll
Yeah.
see that's the seniors.
Yeah.
487.
Everyone there pays $25. It's like $8,000.
Well, that, the
You
select
know?
board can talk about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm not.
I mean, well,
But
I'm
I
just,
think
I'm
we
just
should
putting it
remind
out
them
there.
This is like the third rail of politics.
And you know what? Thank God it's not our rail.
We're looking for efficiencies. I'm saying that could be an efficiency. That's all I'm going to
Yeah.
say about it. It's not my thing to debate.
Tony, you need to be bold as the FinCom director.
Nothing to do with me.
Point out-
Yeah.
No, it's-
Tony's
Tony
like,
and I are hiding over here in the corner.
Plus,
Okay.
I'm a senior myself, so I mean, you know, I've
So
got vested,
we're keeping the
I've
budget
got
where it
vested
is.
interest here.
Yeah, I believe,
I would like this feedback today. Select board.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
all right, so that's that question. Can we talk about hazardous waste
Yeah,
day?
yeah,
Did
sure.
you guys make progress on that?
it was brought to my attention with Kristen that this should be something that should go as an article on town meeting. And let so let the voters decide if this is what they want to do, instead of having it once every 2 years. You have it, and that's one of the slides I have too to show.
I saw the slide.
Yeah, and, you know, I know that there's a cost, and the only cost would be for the residents to get rid of liquid, pretty much liquid hazardous waste, because everything else that Devon's takes, we take at our transfer station for free.
So it would be oils, paints,
Yep, yep.
antifreeze, that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
and it's per their form that I put with it, just to give you an idea, was $6.50 per gallon, that if they brought it over there. A little backstory is this was brought up, I think when I first talked to Francie about it, because she was thinking that the once every 2 years isn't any good, and one of the issues that was brought to her, she informed me that she thought people wouldn't like to drive over there. That it's 20
To
minutes
Devon's?
away,
Yeah.
and that they would have to pay to get rid of it. Where here, you get that $10,000 every 2 years, and you just take, whatever your carload of people are, or what you have, and it goes into the bin, and we get a bill for it, and we shut it off, because the hazardous waste company we give them the limit of 10,000, and they kind of estimate how close they are by what they're getting, and we turn people away. And I, you know, is that right to do? Probably not, but, you know, now they're stuck with it for another 2 years, because we have, I can't even say to people, go bring it here or go bring it here, because there is no place to get rid of the hazardous waste like that.
Yeah.
So we have one budgeted for this year?
Yes.
So then the question is, would we budget a second one next year? Right, in FY '27?
FY '20, every odd year is
Yes, it's in the budget this year.
it's in the budget for fiscal '27, so then it'd be fiscal '29.
So we don't have to worry about that question this year?
No, it's a
Right.
next year question.
But, and if you look, you know, and, you know, being a numbers guy, said, I wonder what it would cost if you extrapolate the numbers to see if it saves the town money. And it's amazing that if you take out the $10,000 to join, you're actually saving the town money every year after it gets by that first two years.
And that's to go to Devon's?
That's to go to Devon's.
But the problem is the seniors might not want to drive to Devon's.
Right.
Well, nobody will drop Devon's, right? I mean, when's, is it open on a weekend, Devon's?
They're open, I don't know what their
Yeah,
days
they
are.
have different dates, so
Yeah,
like,
it's-
this is an old sheet.
Yeah, they didn't have the new one up yet.
Yeah.
So if, you know, I wouldn't know what the 25 dates were like
Yeah, so
on here.
it's like two days in May, 2 days in June, 2 days in July.
Right.
But like in July, it's July 2nd and 5th, which is really a tough couple of days, like
So they're
who's,
weekend days or what? The 5th is not, I think.
yeah.
This is a Sunday, I think.
well,
Yeah, I think it is, fourth is a Saturday.
so they're
Yeah.
open on,
Well, yeah, that was
Oh,
last
sorry.
year. These dates are last year. You gotta remember these dates on this flyer.
no, the 25th, I mean, 2025, that's this year, yeah, yeah, we're in 2020.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
2026, Jesus, okay, never
Oh,
mind.
yeah, I'm thinking, wow, making me nervous.
I'm telling you, I need that free
we don't
free
charge
sticker.
You need that.
Okay.
I'm earning it tonight.
I don't
Okay.
think,
Okay, so again,
Um,
it's not a question for
So
this.
it's not a question for this budget
No.
year.
but wait, I have a question. We don't charge anything for people to bring, you can just bring unlimited. I could show up with like 50 cans of old paint.
As long
If-
as you're early in the
If
queue.
you're early in that queue, yes.
Fills up.
If you get there late, you might not be able to get rid of it until at fiscal
Okay.
'29.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Which
So-
is the problem, because then you do end up with a lot, and people, you know, like I know that, you know, John's got his oil from his oil changes at the house, and, you know, hazardous waste day he goes.
We
If
can
he's-
take
he's first
oil
in line.
to.
You can, but, you know, he's got, you know, he's
got.
got his
Where?
stuff that goes to hazardous
Take
waste.
it back to parts store.
Anyone who
take it.
sells
supposed-
oil has to take it
Has
back.
to take it
Yeah.
back, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you know, that's what the board instructed, asked me to do, is look at this number, and I don't know what the board's gonna do for, if they're gonna put it on, and it's,
Right.
at this town meeting or not.
Okay. Any more budget questions for Ed? I think we can, there seems to be
No,
no
I
question
have,
about-
I've, from Budget Saturday, I have vehicle maintenance, but we talked about your vehicle maintenance, and because you have someone in-house, you're comfortable with your number.
Yes.
You're not
and-
worried about parts and all of that.
No,
being
we are,
ridiculously
you know,
expensive.
having a person now besides the part-time guy we get once a week, that we budgeted, I don't know how many years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, that is very knowledgeable, and between him and Ed Dagnall, we go less to Fillmore now than we ever have. And that's, you know, that money now is probably gonna be used because we're buying more parts than having Fillmore buy parts and him charging us his labor and parts, so. You know, that, we'll look at that number closer next year to see how that works out now that Zach is with us and helping us do a lot of the work. I'll be able to get a better, a number on that, and then we started doing police and fire as well, this year.
Yeah.
And that'll be something, you know, we'll have to decide if we're gonna bring money from their budget over to ours, which if we're gonna be doing any, you know,
But that will be for next year's budget.
that'll be for next year's budget, yeah.
And-
Right now,
and
we just,
For police, you can do all of their vehicles, but for fire, you can only do the command vehicles. You
command
can't do
vehicles.
the
Correct.
trucks.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
So, and that's working out well. It's, I've been informed that it's saving them a lot of money already.
Yeah. Right. And how's the snow and ice budget going this year?
At this rate, this could be one of the first years that we get near that budget. And if it continues like this, like we got storms 4 days this week,
Tomorrow, Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday,
And they're
Monday.
just annoying
And
storms.
they're the ones where you have to treat,
Yeah.
and
Oh, wow.
that obviously costs a lot more money than
Yeah.
going out to plow them.
Yeah.
And I think when I last checked, we had 40,000 remaining.
That's it?
That's it,
In that whole budget?
in that whole budget.
Wow, every year we count on that for like, we can pay bills with
How's
that.
that free cash? Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot, usually a lot of free cash.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
Wow.
And, you know, we're having trouble, we're getting it now. It's trickling in more, is the salt because of the storms, the way they are. We're not the only ones that need it.
Yeah.
And the state gets it first. So all their trucks go there. And then we'll get a load here and there, and we'll see it, you know, they'll stop by at the end of the day and drop it off. But we're caught up right now, but if we get these, you know, little piddly storms, it doesn't take long to go through, you know, the 3 loads we get from them, or 4 loads that we order every time we know we're getting low. So, yeah, and, well, the overtime too has
Yeah.
been a big number this
Right,
year.
because the storms keep hitting at night.
Yep. And on
Starts at 4
and on
and goes through the
weekends.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Ed.
All right, if you have any
Thank
questions,
you.
feel free to email me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
So we can't count on free cash coming out of snow and ice this year.
No.
Just-
Hey, John, you're up.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I think the only question we have is about vehicle maintenance, and we were just concerned that you didn't have enough money in the budget, actually, and that was our...
I share
Yeah,
that
main
concern.
concern.
Oh, I appreciate that, thank you. Trying to stay within the parameters that were set. You know, it was tough to do that and not level fund that line. So, yes, it is a concern. We've had some, we're going through that line fairly quickly. This year, we had an unexpected issue with the brush truck where, you know, it's like $17,000 worth of repairs to keep that truck, which is a vital piece of equipment for it. They're all vital pieces of equipment,
Sure.
but that piece of equipment itself, it's the only one we have, to keep that on the road. So, we've done our NFPA mandated vehicle and chassis inspections. We've gotten our list back of repairs that need to be made based off of those. We reinstituted the NFPA required pump testing this year, which found more deficiencies in some of the apparatus that need to be repaired. With the things that keep coming up, I just get, getting told that the tanker needs a new set of tires. You know, a new set of tires is going to be somewhere around the ballpark of $7,000 to put tires on the tanker. With things that keep coming up, like the brush truck, like the tanker tires, it is very difficult to continue to do the mandated inspections, repairs, the preventative maintenance that needs to get done, the pump testing, those types of things. With the breakdown of, like, last year it was the tanker suspension system we had to have a whole new rear suspension built on that. This year, like I said, it's the brush truck and it's the tanker tires. It's going to be near impossible for me to catch up with the list I have, with the deficiencies that I have across the board on all the vehicles, with what I have to catch up to get us back to a spot where we're at a level playing field with all the apparatus. Pump test alone this year just showed me that truck 64, its pump failed. And that's a $14,000 repair. And it's just not there. I don't have it.
So what happens?
That's a great question, right? Because
'Cause
if you
you
look
need-
at, no, and if you look at it, truck 63 is the next to be replaced. That's the one that we just voted on last year. 64 is supposed to last. And I know Gary brought it up about the next pump that's in the schedule. Like, whenever that next pump is in the schedule, that's when 64 is due. So that truck will have to be fixed. It's a great question as to what happens. We're just going to have to, I'm trying to find ways to fit it in, but again, when an entire, the DEF system basically collapses within the brush truck, and they go, what starts out as we can sell you with a $5,000 refurbished part or the $11,000 brand new part, so we choose the $5,000 refurbished part, and then as they start digging deeper and getting into it, they realize that that $5,000 job just turned into a $17,000 job. So
It's a DEF system.
that is, it's, with the new exhaust mandates that they have, it's the fluid that goes in to make a cleaner exhaust out of a diesel engine. All of our newer trucks are, it's EPA or government required to have it in the exhaust systems, which it makes things difficult because,
It's in the system itself,
right,
right, because we've done a couple for, a couple of towns down by Worcester.
Mhm.
We do them, Northborough, I think we've done it for their ambulances and a couple of other trucks.
the government
Because we don't
exempt,
spend we don't charge $17,000.
the government exempted
gonna say, is there
themselves
an
from their
opportunity?
vehicles having to have it, but it's created a headache for the rest of us that do need to have it within our trucks. It's just constant trying to get the trucks to temperature, to try to burn out the filters, to try to keep it clean from having the system gum up and have the types of problems that we encountered.
Okay,
So these
what
are
does that
lines.
mean?
So these are lines here. Then this is equipment maintenance and vehicle maintenance,
Yes, I have that.
which seems to be
There's equipment maintenance
Is
on,
it pump equipment or vehicle?
So, I have it here, so
so you got to say it's just-
it was interesting, again, this being my, I've only been here a year and a half, trying to understand how these were
Does
created.
it feel longer? I'm sorry. Sorry.
I love
I'm
working
sorry.
here. I
I-
do,
I-
so,
stop.
thank you. Equipment maintenance covers things such as 5-gas meter service, rescue tool service, our SCBA flow testing, but it includes things like the pump service, the ladder testing, and just radio repairs, and then our SCBA compressor services. Vehicle maintenance is just that. It's all the testing in accordance with NFPA 1911. And then our vehicle equipment and supplies, that's our DEF fluid, our wipers, tools for the trucks, which not even a consideration right now. Tires, batteries, chassis service, pump service.
so wait, that
Ambulance.
includes tires,
It is, yes, it is to include tires.
which are $7,000 apiece?
No, $7,000 total.
I'm
to
sorry,
that.
$7,000
So we had
total.
one tire serviced, we had a flat tire, one of our, on the rear, one of our inner tires was flat, and that truck is a 2009, and it is still on its original tires.
Okay, so let me understand, so the
And
vehicle
considering
equipment,
it's carrying 3,000 gallons of water at 8.3 pounds per gallon, you could imagine the weight that's on those tires. For that to be on
Yeah.
its original set is
so
mind-blowing.
this is the set you're gonna change?
That's the set I need to change,
Okay,
yes.
so that falls under vehicle equipment and supplies that you have budgeted right now at 11.5.
Which is, yes, that has been budgeted at 11.5 for the past 6 years from what I went back to 2019. I wanted to just see how long these lines have been where they're at. That has been at 11.5 since the FY19, or FY20, excuse me.
So like,
but the actual for 25 was only $3,000. So
yes, I see that. We
Yeah.
only used 3,000 last year.
Right, and I gotta
Yeah.
figure out, I had a new, Kim was new to us as well, admin-wise, and she was trying to figure out which accounts were which, as we we're going through, because it is somewhat convoluted the way, even though it's vehicle-related, certain things come from one line versus the other instead of just being together.
So,
It makes it challenging trying
right,
to
because
keep
the
track.
actual 25s for equipment maintenance, vehicle maintenance, and equipment and vehicle supplies all came in under budget last
Right,
year.
Yeah.
Right,
But you're anticipating them being over budget this year? I don't mean this year, I mean FY '27.
So,
if I try to do a clean sweep on all the repairs that need to be done on all the vehicles, yes, it will be.
Okay, but if you don't do that, you have a list of repairs today that need to be done. This is for the next fiscal year. If you don't repair it, what happens if you have to wait a year to do something?
The vehicles are operational.
Okay,
Right, there are only a few that there are some that I flag as 100% necessary, have to be done right now. Obviously, I'm not a mechanic. I rely on my subject matter experts that we pay to tell me, like, how imperative is it that this gets fixed? Like, is this, I need to fix it right now? Is this, I need to consider this within the next 6 months? Or can I make it a year? And I'm relying on them and their expertise to give me the right information as to how quickly or how imperative it is that I make these repairs.
Yeah, the question is going to be what's left in the 26 budget, I think, before the end of the fiscal
We're
year.
looking that up right now.
Yeah, because if you previously underspent in 25, if in 26 you're still underspent by a similar amount, there should be money left over to spend now before the end of the year and do some catch up.
Right.
Right, do you feel you have enough to catch up?
Right now, today?
To cover the expenses that you have through fiscal year 26? With what's left in your budget?
Yeah, I don't-
No, I don't have enough to catch up.
It's $9,619.
That's what's left?
Left.
Yes.
Okay, how much are your
In which line? This is line.
The vehicle maintenance,
Yeah, we don't, for some reason.
How much left?
In the sortable, it doesn't have
$9,619.34.
FY 26 actuals,
9,600.
No.
Vehicle maintenance.
which isn't all that helpful. We have 25 actuals, but so.
Is that after we did,
What
That
else?
is the last AP warrant that was posted February 12th, the J.C. Madigan. That was
yes.
the last AP
So,
warrant.
Okay.
Hong Wad, you're saying this line, vehicle equipment supplies,
No,
Vehicle maintenance,
vehicle
Says vehicle
maintenance has got 9,000 left in the
Yes.
budget
yes. They
out of
expended
37,000.
Out of the 37, yep.
Yep, 37.6. And what about vehicle equipment and supply? We budgeted 11.5. What do we have in that?
10,695.
Okay, so we can do tires. There you go, you
Yeah,
got
that-
tires.
Can
Yeah,
get
don't buy your
yeah.
tires, yeah.
I can get the time. Right.
I don't know what else you're gonna do, but you got your
Well,
tires.
I have a truck that, we have a truck that had an issue that had to go to a body shop. The body was, it had a door come off of it. So I went to the body shop, and when it came back, I have a problem with now, it wasn't leaking water when it went, but now it's leaking water when it came back. So I'm trying to, we're having a little bit of a debate as to, like, is this our responsibility or is it their responsibility? Because it's my opinion that while it was being serviced, that something froze and cracked. So now I'm trying to navigate that and trying to make sure that they own up to it. But I still owe a $2,000 deductible from the body work on that out of one of these accounts as well.
Okay. I have a headache. So what does this mean for next year's budget? I forget what your instructions were to keep your budget within 5%.
Right.
We can't have a pump truck, the pump doesn't work.
Oh,
We can't have a pump truck that's leaking.
I agree.
So,
Right now, I have one pump that has, I'm not even gonna say it, because once I say it, there's gonna
yeah,
be a
so
problem.
where does
then
that
just-
leave us for next year's budget? You had talked about 2 or 3% at our budget meeting. You said you were told
That's
maybe
from-
budget higher.
That was from
to-
one of my vendors told me that his prices are gonna be going up, somewhere around 2 to 3%, and that was based on just doing the NFPA inspections. That wasn't included. It will involve some, like oil changes and lube and chassis inspection, things like that, like with the other vehicles, like the ambulance and the brush truck, but, that was just that one vendor to do that one service.
So the moving parts here are, we've got, the budgets have been underspent the last couple of years. The budget hasn't gone up that much, but there is some catch up to be done, it sounds like.
So last year's budget, I came in, I started after the budget started July 1st. I came in after that, trying to get my feet under me, trying to get things going and just figuring out the operations of the department and what things that we were doing and which things that we should be doing.
Right.
Once we established that, yes, by the end of the year, once we figured out, so what I realized was we needed to put more effort into the fleet. It's a big investment the town has made for the department, right? So reassignment of personnel, created a fleet manager, which is, the NFPA says, you should have someone who's managing the fleet, is coming up with a maintenance and repair schedule, and inspection schedule, all of that. Trying to
Yeah.
get that all established, making sure that we've gone out to the vendors and we've got prices for these inspections, these services, these pump testings. Putting the attention into the fleet that I felt needed to be put into it. Yes, so by the end of that evaluation of what we had going on, the year was over, right? The fiscal year was ending and we were short on money.
Yeah.
And mind you, we hadn't had these inspections done. I hadn't had these evaluations of the pieces done yet, right? Had I had them done, had I had a list of all the deficiencies, these deficiencies didn't happen overnight into July, from June into July, right? These
Yeah.
were there.
You could have
It's just a
backlogged,
matter
yeah.
of having it done and then
Yeah.
finding out that we were in the state that we're in. It was kind of a shock to me when I started getting reports per vehicle back, and I saw how many pages each one was with recommended repairs and fixes that need to be done.
Okay, so do we go up on this line? Do we,
Yeah, should we go up? I mean, it's a question. I mean, do you feel you can justify
I
going
feel like
up?
if we go up, what that will do is it's gonna give me the normal things that we do. It'll also allow me to start getting, this list that I have of repairs complete. And the other thing we'll do is we'll build in that buffer for when I do have that catastrophic failure of some other piece and something goes completely wrong. If I stay the same, then yes, as long as we have no catastrophic failure of any other piece, we can do what we're doing and I can start getting things fixed. But once something breaks, these pieces are being used. I mean,
Yeah.
they're not museum pieces, right? They are working trucks. And unfortunately, with working trucks, things break down and things happen. So,
Yeah, I'm not sure we can budget that for too much buffer, really, because, I mean, that's not really...
no, I understand.
The way we do
No.
the-
if something goes
Yeah,
and it's catastrophic, that's what a reserve fund
yeah,
is
yeah,
for,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So this is for maintenance, which seems like we've had a lot of deferred, had a lot of chiefs. And the budget for the fire has not gone up. I mean,
Right.
that was,
I-
right, for certain items.
And it hasn't been used.
And it
either.
hasn't been used,
Yeah.
right? So you've inherited a fleet that it's had deferred maintenance, which is always a problem, no matter what anyone thinks. Deferred maintenance is a bad thing.
little bit.
So where does that leave you with what you need to be able to catch up without worrying about something catastrophic happening? Like, we know you need tires, that's $7,000. How many sets of tires do you need? Do you think it's just the one set?
Well, there's, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And there's that $9,000 in that line already
Right, so
there.
that's this year, yeah.
Yeah, for this year. So, I mean,
So-
there's money this year to do some of these things. So, I mean, I don't think we can sort of run away with this.
So, I mean, I think the thought is that you should use every ounce, every cent.
So we're talking about bumping up line 148, right?
Vehicle maintenance.
Yeah, vehicle
Yeah,
maintenance.
Okay, so 25, it was 18, probably not all used. This year it's 37 is the
Sounds like
original.
it's all gonna get used.
It was 35, only used 18 for 25.
35 only used
Yeah.
18,
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
thank you.
And
So
but yes,
the
where-
simple
where-
ask is, what's the number beyond 37 that you need, right?
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
yeah, so chief, beyond 37,000, maybe it's pie in the sky, but like, what
Right.
number do you need? Like, you need to be 40,000?
Yeah, what are we talking?
What do you need to be? I mean, you're not gonna get 100,000.
I understand that, and that, again, so I need $14,000 to be able to get that pump on engine 64 repaired.
So is the pump like non-functional? or
The
is it
pump
like
is
capacity?
functional, it's functional, it will move water.
Okay,
However, every time I send it for a pump test, it's going to fail. And then,
So
I
what,
guess it comes
throughput
down,
or something, or-
it's I can tell you right now exactly
so
what
hold
it
on,
is. It
but
is
that
the,
should be done now, right?
Yeah.
So
It
that's
sounds like
not,
a pretty critical part.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's
It's like when there's a
not.
hole in your straw and you're still drinking, but it's annoying and you gotta fix it, right? You gotta get a new straw.
So the 14,000 isn't a next year problem, it's a this year problem.
It
Figure
is.
out in your budget, and if you don't have enough, that might be a reserve
so-
fund
All right,
transfer.
so we can
Yeah.
do
Yeah,
that.
there's the now and the
Right.
27, so
So-
do we want to
So-
get ahead of?
Right.
Like I said, when I got the list back of all the things that I had wrong, we sat down, we started, I mean, like I said, I'm not a mechanic, so what I did was rely heavily on making phone calls, talking to people, the internet, right? I went down, I did every single thing on the list, cost estimate, estimated labor time, estimated cost, without the pump refurbished. And I had this I reached out to the mechanic that works for us, I just said, hey, look, asking you, how far off are we on this? He said we're high on some things, low on some other things. Without the pump refurbished, high end came back to get everything back to a level playing field, everything fixed, $60,000. To put the pump refurbished in, we're looking at $74,000 to $75,000 to get the pump refurbished as well, to fix everything that's on our list that's listed as
But that's not
broken
even
on the
regular
truck.
maintenance, that's just fixed stuff.
That's just fixed.
Okay.
Right, so like you said, I'm not gonna get $100,000,
So
but
what's
obviously my 36 or 30,
So you need to
whatever
use
it is.
all of that this year.
So what's left in vehicle maintenance this year? Can you tell me again, Tongwa?
It's like
vehicle-
9,000.
No.
The budget,
In the vehicle maintenance budget, what's left for for 26?
9,619,
9,619, and that's in the maintenance budget.
vehicle maintenance, yep.
And what's in equipment supplies budget?
Equipment, is that equipment maintenance or,
Equipment maintenance.
Maintenance?
Vehicle
Okay.
equipment supplies.
well, there's two lines.
Yeah, you have
of-
fire
there's-
equipment maintenance service
There's
and.
equipment maintenance or there's vehicle equipment supplies, which one?
Vehicle equipment
Vehicle
supplies.
equipment supplies.
That one still remaining, 10,695.
Okay. So there's 19,000 there, but other maintenance to be done obviously during the course of the year, presumably. And you've got 60,000 plus 14,000 that needs doing.
So of that 74,000, how much of that really has to happen in the next 4 months?
And that's the thing, it's the tires, it's the pump test, it's the, just make sure, priority
The
on
tires are
60.
$7,000.
So the priority on 63 was there was a problem with 63's pump and there was a steering issue. Low to moderate, there was nothing on, low priority on 62. 67, we have an air and a pump system, air system and a pump problem on 67, which should be considered a high priority. That, the tires were the 5,000, the failed pump test, so that failed the pump test to it at a vacuum leak. That estimated approximately $3,000 to fix the vacuum leak on that pump. The air leak was a roughly $1,500, but it's still a high priority according to our list. So I have 3 high priority things that we need to get on between
So I
those.
think you need to
Yeah.
spend the money that's there on the critical things and then come back from reserve fund transfer. If it's stuff that's critical now in FY 26, we
Right.
should really fix it. I mean,
And that is what I would like to do. Again, I
Yeah.
can't predict that if anything's gonna break down or have any problems again. And you're right,
Yeah.
a reserve fund transfer is the right way to go. I'm just looking at in the future, these things that are broken still, I would like to start being able to not only, handle the things that we have to handle within, the codes and standards that we have to follow, but would like to start chipping away at this list.
I can understand that we maybe the vehicle maintenance line should be a little bit higher to cover that sort of like catching up on things over a period of time. I mean, there's probably some stuff there that's pretty urgent, needs to be done and fixed
I
now.
give you, for instance, something that came up just this past week that's within these 3 lines was our power stretcher. I know you mentioned the power stretcher. It's enormous for us to have this power stretcher. The back injuries are probably like the #1 injury with ambulance work, people who are working on the ambulance, the EMTs. We were paying $3,900 to have the preventative maintenance done on that yearly. And that we have to do it because we're having our ambulance inspection tomorrow, and that's one of the things they're going to check, is to make sure that we're having, it's documented that the PM is being done on this thing. So in the middle of this whole thing, we have our Lucas device break, and we get told that it's gonna be approximately a $4,000 repair to fix the Lucas. So $3,900, so for this year I paid $5,400, so I could have the repairs covered under the plan. So now it's not just a PM contract, it's also a repair contract. So we were able to, just by adding that little bit to the contract for this year, they came in today and they made a $4,000 repair for the difference of $5,400 to $3,900. And we were able to get that fixed. But now I'm scrambling because I haven't submitted that to you yet. But I gotta figure out where that $5,400 is gonna come from within the lines for, you know, and I know it's there, we'll find a place to have it done, but it's just little things like that that come up
Well, yeah,
where
yeah.
we're kind of juggling, trying to get the biggest bang for our buck. So, you know, that slight increase in contract for this year will get us a $4,000 repair that we weren't gonna have if we stayed at the 3,900, so.
So I think what we're saying is we're giving you permission to actually spend up the budget and go into a reserve fund transfer situation if you need to do that for things which are critical in this year.
Right,
I
because
mean,
we have the
it's-
money. We
yeah.
haven't done a lot of reserve fund
Yeah.
transfers. We have that money that's gonna roll into free cash, and quite frankly, makes more sense to use it.
Yeah, I've got no problem at all with that.
Could we ask, though, that you send us what your plan is for the remediation of these items? It seems like you're kind of calculating these on the fly. I know you're,
Oh, no, yes, we
You've got
can
a list,
absolutely
right?
send you,
yeah, just tell us what your short-term and long-term is so that we
Yep.
can.
Yeah, and then for the long term, the question then is, should the line increase for 27 to allow for more of this sort of like catch-up type stuff that has to happen? So it sounds like there's a backlog of stuff that hasn't been done, right?
there is.
Yeah.
Well, it's tough to say how or what created, you know, caused it to fall kind of
Right.
to the state that it's in. I do know that following the NFPA, we're being held to the standard more now than we had been in the past. So
Right.
it's not to say that it fell through the cracks or anything like that. It's just that we're being held to a higher standard when it comes to vehicle maintenance now, just
Right.
because of issues that have happened.
But you can probably triage the stuff which is urgent now, the stuff which can wait maybe, you know, some months, you know, and the stuff that doesn't need doing at all or whatever, you know, there's probably some gradation in your thinking about those things.
100%, and we've
Yeah.
already started doing that. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, when we look at a reserve piece and we see that the air conditioner's not working, well, that's not a priority. It's a reserve
Right.
piece.
Yeah.
And if you know, we can roll the windows down, we'll be
Right.
okay. But there's other things, you're right, that just need
Yeah.
to get done immediately. And again, I can work on short-term, long-term for you. It's just, again, I'm not a mechanic, so I have to
Yeah,
rely on
of
those
course.
professionals that
Yeah.
can, you know, and my fleet manager is not, we don't have we don't have a diesel mechanic per se on the fleet, so, or on the department. So we have to go to an outside vendor and kind of hope that they're steering us in the, pardon the pun, right? Steering us in the right direction when it comes to this.
So for the short term, long term, when you figure out, because we say use a reserve fund transfer, but you can't come with $100,000 reserve fund transfer.
Yeah, that's kind of.
So I think that's what we need to know. Like,
Yeah.
what is your plan? How much money do you have in your budget lines
Mhm.
left? Include, you know, like after you take your tires, whatever, and how much you think you're gonna need for a reserve fund, because we do need to have some money in case there's another emergency
Right.
somewhere else in town.
Yeah.
Um,
And also it gets
in
late.
advance of it.
Also, it gets late enough in the year, we can do budget transfers as
Right,
well, right?
but snow and
Potentially.
ice is getting used
Yeah,
up,
yeah, yeah.
and if we're gonna try to, I mean, we budgeted tighter,
Yeah,
and like, you know, if we've got the chief using all of his maintenance budget, there's all these areas that we take 1,000 here and 1,000
Yeah, yeah,
there, we
yeah,
may not
yeah.
have. But I think
Yeah.
that's what the long-term, short-term for me needs to look
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
It needs to be, here's the cash I have in my budget, here's the repairs I wanna get done before the end of the year, so I might need a reserve fund transfer of $15,000, 20,000 maybe.
Mm.
And can we do that? And then we know, okay, this is what we have left in our reserve fund, we could do this. And then for next year, I mean, you know, like, a 10% increase is only $3,700. That doesn't get you two tires. So like, I mean, I don't know, that's the problem. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, to be able to do maintenance plus go back, you know, what are we looking for an increase?
Well, if the reserve
Well-
fund transfer catches us up, do we really need to?
It
increase
doesn't,
the next
I
year?
don't, it's
No.
not gonna catch us up.
Right, no.
It's
Just
gonna,
the emergen-
it's gonna be
I'm
emergency
thinking,
stuff.
I mean, if
Okay.
we increase it by 10,000, does that? does it-
We're picking straws.
But, right.
You
Yeah.
should tell us,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the catch-up, this is what it's gonna look like.
Yeah.
I will.
We're not
Yeah.
gonna pluck it out of thin air.
So you need to
Yeah.
do that and then get back to
Yeah,
us so
come
that
back, yeah.
we can vote the budget.
So the ambulance is on the list for some of the things it needs to be caught up with. And I have a question, because I know historically the ambulance fund is used, what, just for the purchase of a new ambulance, so,
And we're counting on that money.
well, I know you are. It's, I know other departments have funds that 100% of those funds will go back to their department for vehicles. I know the ambulance gets split 50/50.
So it's 50/50 that goes into, you know, 50 into the general fund, 50 into the ambulance fund.
Right.
That fund was specifically set up for purchase of a new vehicle.
Right.
A new
So
ambulance,
looking
which
at-
worked out this time, right? Because we ordered it we get a bond authorization for 133,000, we're gonna go back town meeting and unauthorize that. Like, we're not gonna take the bond out, we're gonna use
Use
what's
the
in
fund, because I know, like, we went from 149,594 in '23 to, we went to 187,798.36 this past year in receipts. That, yeah, which was split, you know,
But that's what
50%
you
to
wanna
the
do,
general
because that
fund.
ambulance is $400,000.
Right.
So that's, the goal is that every 4 years, when we buy an ambulance, we don't have to bond it.
I know that some places use the
Every
ambulance
7
fund
years.
not just for ambulances, there's other
Capital
things that are
Boss is telling
ambulance
me.
related, so I just didn't know if there were, how much flexibility there may be for that as far as,
Gary, is there any kind of parameters around that ambulance fund that's specific? Other than 50%?
I think we said ambulance and associated expenses.
So associated expenses to purchase, meaning to upfit it, get the
Yeah.
power stretcher, that kind of stuff, right? So not for maintenance,
No,
no.
not
Yeah, so,
Okay, so look, you probably need to come back, I think, it sounds like,
yes,
if you don't mind,
no, not a problem.
and have more, detail on this.
Yep.
And let us know what you think a reasonable number would be for vehicle maintenance for next year.
Okay.
And with with your list of sort of
Right,
triaged,
I'll just get on the vendors to, rather than give me, I'll just ask them for hard dollar numbers, like what are their prices going, because right now they're just estimating, they haven't,
Yeah.
it's just, hey, heads up, we may be going up, 2, 3, 4% next year.
The problem is on the parts, they say this year, parts are going up every 2, so as soon as the parts are sold out of the warehouses, the next load comes in with a tariff.
Yep.
The part prices go up. So we're quoting people today, and we used to hold the quotes for a month or two, whatever, come back when you can. We can only hold a quote for no more than 2 weeks now, because we quoted out somebody, and 2 weeks later, the part's doubled in cost because the new part with the higher tariffs comes in. So it's impossible for people to tell you. They gotta just give you the best guess.
All of these finance
Yeah.
groups have bought up all these companies. I'm talking to people that have been waiting a year for a mirror.
Yep.
Because they won't sell to any other vendors. They're only selling to the people that sell and work on their trucks. And those people, because of the cost that you're speaking of, they're waiting to buy in bulk, right? So they're not buying the individual mirror. They're waiting until they're gonna put in an order for, 50 mirrors. And it's the same with all of the parts. We are, what's going on with the fire truck industry as far as new vehicles and parts go, it's been a matter of Congress. People are, they're sitting in front of Senate committees and speaking about these private equity firms and how much they have driven, the percentage of cost that they have driven this up. So, we're feeling it. I mean,
Okay.
just never, even in the purchase of the new vehicle that was approved last year, it went from a, $700,000 truck to now we're over $1 million for a truck in the matter of like 2 or 3 years. It's crazy.
Okay, so we'll see you
I'll
back
get
in a
some-
couple of
yep,
weeks, yeah?
get some final
Because we
numbers.
have to, do we know when we have to do our final vote and have the budget in? Did you get the schedule from Kelly today?
No.
Okay. Kelly sent the schedule out to some people, because
Oh,
when I was in
I
COA.
didn't see it anyway.
All right.
Okay, yeah, thanks, John.
All right, thank
Yeah.
you.
Thanks.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
Okay, minutes of February the 10th. I had one comment, Gary, on the minutes actually. So the police chief discussion we had, it was pretty clear, I got a pretty clear takeaway from that, which Mike agreed with me on, that they're going to reduce their budget by 19,000 net, and that's what in fact it was reduced by in the clear guard. What's in the minutes is a bit more waffly, I think, about what he was saying.
So what do you want? What
So
do you
in-
want the wording to be?
The wording should be that after discussion, it was agreed that the overtime line will be reduced by $19,000, and that the
Reduced by 19,000?
$19,000, yeah, and that the increase in the lieutenant line and the decrease in the officer line would equal out, basically. So there'd be no net increase in no net change in salary line. So the net change was 19,000 reduction.
All right, I'll go back and look what I wrote.
Yeah, thank you.
Have we gotten that budget back from the
Yeah.
chief yet?
We got it back to Mike. I mean, it's been changed in
Clear
ClearGov.
Gov?
Yeah.
The $19,000 decrease is in clear
Yeah.
gov?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's in the most for,
And
Yeah.
did you support this or not?
Did I support what?
You're not listed.
I recall sort of saying, I
Yeah, I
understand
support
the
it, yeah.
numbers, it didn't really, I don't know if I put my full support behind it. I'm still on the fence about, until those numbers came in, just at the time of these minutes, I just don't know if I was in support so much as understanding the position. I don't think it needs to be changed, but I think that's maybe what you're asking there.
No, I'm asking,
Yeah.
no, I'm noticing Tony's has mentioned.
Well, I
Yeah.
supported the reduction in the budget, and I supported the new lieutenant position given the reduction in the budget. So yeah, I was.
I felt
Yeah.
like Maria was the only one who expressed a firm yes or no support, and
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
were sort of affirming
Yes.
that we understood
Yeah.
We didn't like
So-
where the
so
chief was coming from,
That's
so.
not what I took as the minutes. I
Yeah.
took that, there was a vote, sort of not a vote, but a
Sense of the
feeling,
meeting.
And Maria was definitely no.
Yeah,
The others I took up, you said you supported the lieutenant. That's the way I took it.
okay,
that's kind of how it sounded.
okay.
Felt a little
That's
lonely on
fair.
my island, but that's okay.
Well,
I think
it's
I
fair,
was-
I was still under consideration of how I felt about it, I was
Yeah,
saying
and
I understand
I
the
said it
numbers.
was
Like,
okay with
I
it as
didn't
well.
really
So
stance.
I'm in the support line. Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
that
Yeah, you
said,
put it- just so you didn't have.
that was that night, I mean, you know, the budget,
You didn't mention Tony.
In the minutes, it doesn't
I
have
don't
me.
even wrote down who those who I took, so I didn't hear Tony say
Okay.
it then.
yeah, but Tony did say it.
Tony did say it.
Yeah, yeah.
But, you know, like, when it comes, we're gonna vote that line we're gonna vote the police budget, at which
Right.
point you can say, I vote for the budget, but I am opposed to this, or you can say, I'm not voting for the budget because of, you know, whatever. It's not like the vote was taken and you have to, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So, we still have to vote that budget, like we do all the other ones.
And the only reason I'm raising that, Gary, is that afterwards, what the police chief said to Boxman News was something different to that. So I'll make sure that it's minuted accurately what happened at the meeting.
That's what I heard at the meeting.
Before I
Yeah.
send the minutes to be published, I will resend them out to everyone so you can take another look at that section.
Okay, so maybe we'll vote them next week then.
Yeah, it might be better.
Yeah. Okay.
And Joe, if you want your vote changed to.
No, I mean, I just, if it's not a formalized vote, I just don't want that to turn into, like, if I decided to vote against it later, I don't know, I just don't want to be locked in by that. In the moment, I think I said, that all makes sense to me, if the reduction is true, which we have to, believe at this point, but I meant to look into it further myself and do due diligence rather than just
Yeah.
believing someone saying it will be lower. We got the numbers back from Mike. Now, at this meeting, I would say I'm in support of the current budget as it stands, still not voting.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like it's a deductive process, and at that point, I think I was saying, I understand those numbers, and if those numbers are true, then I'm in support of the budget
And in
reduction.
fact, we can vote it tonight, actually,
Yeah.
because it's now finalised, I think, so we can vote the police budget tonight when we do our voting. Those who want to vote.
Okay, so the only thing I would say is that John's not here tonight to vote the bigger department budgets. Some of the smaller budgets, I don't think it matters if we're all here, but like for like police, fire, DPW, library, some
You
of these
need to
bigger
all be
ones.
here to do that?
I just think that if, particularly if there's a concern around lieutenant, I don't know. You
It's a
can,
bit-
well, we can take a vote, I don't care. I know how I'm
think that's a
voting,
great
but.
point. I mean, if John's expected back next week, what's the?
Yeah, I've got no problem with that, yeah. I just didn't know that was a protocol.
It's not, and normally, if the budget was, if there wasn't an issue around it, but just tonight, these guys are like, well, I said I support it, doesn't mean I support it, I might not support it, so what if John's feeling the same way?
I was like
That's not
silent
what
that
Jay said.
entire session.
You were
I
silent
was
the entire
literally
thing.
silent then.
Right, but
You
at
guys
the
were-
end, I think Tony said,
Weren't you in
and
charge?
Michelle, and you said,
No, I was
yeah,
there.
that all
It was
makes sense.
virtual.
The same thing I said. So
You
we
guys-
both,
Yeah.
Michelle and I are both in the same position where I think
Yeah.
we
You
were
guys are
affirming, we
really
understand
chatting
where
away.
that budget's coming from, not putting our full weight of support behind
So
it.
I
at
just
the
think
time.
because there
didn't
could be
speak.
some controversy around it.
Yeah,
We should
yeah,
wait
yeah,
on
yeah.
that one.
I'm
It's
fine,
already
yeah,
in the
I'm fine,
news.
yeah, yeah.
I
It-
just found it. So
That's what Joe going back and forth, with, no. Sorry.
I
This
mean,
is what I'm saying.
this is why it's so hard to cut in when I'm virtual because I just sit.
It's hard.
You have to raise
It's
your
hard to,
electronic
You guys
to
ignore
be.
the hand half the time.
It's how
So
I-
you just need to
Jeez.
not sit. You just need to say hello. I'm here, and then
I'll start screaming.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
Okay.
I just don't remember even speaking during that segment, so I wouldn't.
Okay, so
Alright, so we're
we'll
gonna wait
so
on the police.
Yeah.
We'll wait on the police until we're all here and we can all say,
Well,
yeah.
just to make sure
Yes.
that we got it
Yeah,
all.
yeah. Okay. Citizens' concerns. Nobody's got their hand up.
Yeah, there's no citizens on this meeting.
Reserve fund transfer. No reserve fund transfers.
What's the balance in that account? Do we have it?
We do know, it's on the minutes.
$23,000. What did you say?
Reserve fund,
Yeah.
$163,462.38.
All right. So we got some money if we got to fix a,
Yeah.
a pump on the truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
FY26 budget. The only thing which I've still got on here is the audit update. Is there anything more on the audit, Hongwa?
I sent the auditor email today again, just to follow up, because they said they're gonna try to finish the end of this month, so I haven't heard back from them today yet. I just
Right.
emailed today for follow-up.
And what about the audit that Emily was talking about, doing an audit from July through December? She had mentioned at the last meeting. Was it the last meeting?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, 2 meetings ago, that she had mentioned the cash reconcilement from July through December. Did you guys, do we have that? Are you gonna do that?
So, I just updated the revenue part on that second quarter that I sent it to Tony.
Yeah.
That's reflected of that. That's what she meant by, I rerun the general ledger with her cash thingy, and that's what I did to reflect it on that.
Okay.
So you're saying it's correct in the dashboard,
Yeah.
but has it been audited by the auditor to make sure it's all accurate? I think
Well,
that's your question,
that's-
really, right?
No.
Right, because the auditors stopped, because the cash reconcilement was off for last year, so did the July through September or whatever, right? But then went back into last fiscal year and did some cash reconcilements,
So,
right?
I think this is what she meant is, the cash for FY '26
Yeah.
itself, from July to December, and that's what I did.
And that's been done
Yes. And
by an outside consultant.
Oh, no, that's me when Emily was talking about the accounting office, that's what she meant. But the auditing is auditing the Roselli, that's FY '25 budget.
Right, no, I understand that, but I thought that we had the consultant come in and do the free cash reconcilement from July 1st through September. Did we not do that?
Yes,
We had the consultant do that.
Yes, she's still currently, still working with us, the consultant. She's doing the July
Yeah.
through, December.
She is gonna do through December.
Yes.
Okay, because that's what Emily was asking about.
Yeah.
Because I
Yes.
think that's a really good
Yes.
idea, so that
Yes.
Emily can start fresh.
Yeah.
Because she shouldn't be having to drag other
Right,
people's garbage
right.
around. Okay,
And, I'm meeting with that consultant next week.
great, so
Yeah.
we are getting that done.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
good, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, FY27 budget. So I did update the budget model. And I actually just simplified my version of that, actually. This is my version, not the town version. I don't know if you're going to do a new town version at some point, Rajon, but this is what I've got. So this is the number in ClearGov, 39,46233, which is slightly down on last time.
39,463, okay, yep.
The other thing I changed in here is I took this revenue number down. This is the local receipts and state aid to 2.3 million based on what we discussed last week. I don't know how you feel about that, John, because you had a view on that, I think.
Yeah, it's, I think, what was it, the function of the run rate we had seen
Yeah,
this far,
yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah, that's fair.
So that gives us our buffer at the moment a bit above the levy limit of just about $1 million.
Some figures still.
Yeah, yeah. So that's-
And,
We were originally aiming for that, but I think more recently, at least
It's
Maria
been
was
high, yeah,
identifying
yeah.
like 1.2 is more comfortable.
That's, yeah, we've been bouncing around those numbers, right, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. $1 million, I mean, I think we were at above 1 million last year in our estimate. It ended up less than 1 million based on
Yeah, that's what
News
makes
growth.
me nervous.
yeah.
So I don't understand, Tony, on this page that you're on, it says below the limit, 1,075,000, but if I go to levy limit model,
Yeah.
it says excess capacity, 1.2 million. What am I missing?
Maybe I didn't update this one.
No, bummer, because I really like this number better.
Yeah.
By the way, is Maria looking at this right line? Can you use?
I'm looking at 26, okay, I'm looking at 26, line
Okay.
26. Right, hold on, is that the
Yeah.
right place for me to be looking?
Like,
If you go up? No, go down, I always do that. Meaning make that screen go up.
You mean look at this number here? Yeah, because I plugged it in. It should be that's not a number right now, is it? The
Wait,
number
wait, this is not, do I have a different thing than you? Go back to
28.
that, go back to the levy limit model right now, please.
Right.
Okay,
Which
line
step?
26, go down to line
Just scroll down a
26.
tiny bit.
Scroll down a little bit, right there. Okay, so it says right there,
Right.
No, it's the same.
levy, excess levy capacity.
Right. But that's
1.2.
based on that number there, which is an out of date number.
Okay, so that's not updated.
So that should equal actually that number there.
Okay,
That gets you back to where
Oh, there you go.
that gets you up to the same number.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Tony, you should connect those two.
They're now connected. They're now connected.
Yeah, I'm not happy about that, though. I liked it better when I had this
Yeah.
fantasy.
Type
that
in
it-
2 million.
Okay, wow,
Yeah.
so really? And so tonight we talked about increasing,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is updated numbers, including the $19,000 that was
That's the
decreased.
latest tier gov number. Yeah.
Does this include all the debt for 27?
That's I think that's another question actually, because we don't have in here a number for any new debt servicing for FY27.
All the spreadsheets we were sending.
Which we will get when we get the spreadsheets back from.
So debt servicing that would be for the special town meeting debt
No, that's in there. That's in there. It's the stuff from the annual town meeting.
from last year?
No, from next year. From this
From this past town meeting?
upcoming annual town meeting.
Oh, so that's 360,000, right? That's what you have for debt.
Well, it's the servicing. Yeah, it's right. Yeah, it's the servicing of this.
Right,
Assuming the timing of that is that we immediately take out those bonds on day one.
what is that 60,000?
360,000.
I know what the 3 is, that's the,
So is that assuming all,
Those are the
all
compact
warrants
communities.
pass? All
Yeah.
articles pass and get anything that's going to be bonded is bonded?
oh,
that's
so those are the
what
two
Compactor.
compactors,
It assumes.
two of them, okay.
Yep.
And then we'll have, so we're gonna add to this too, which assuming we'll do that at a free cash salary survey,
Salary survey. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but we'll assume that.
Yeah, so the debt servicing, I don't know how we normally do that actually. I don't remember doing that in the past of putting in an estimate.
Well, so it doesn't
It doesn't
usually,
usually hit us, does it?
no, we don't put the debt servicing in for the first year. It's a ban. If it starts, if we do it in May, we might have to make a debt payment for interest
June,
only.
something.
But like the 300,000 in the
Yeah.
past, he hasn't even, like, we haven't
Didn't
even
use
bonded
it.
that.
Okay, but also I'm trying to add 2 points. We've got a baseline level of debt that we have currently.
Yeah.
This 360 is all net new stuff that we're talking about.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Anything to do with the fire station, maybe early, anything on the special stuff, the town meeting.
Yeah,
Right, all that here. Okay, fine. Thank you. So
but the
it's
stuff that we already have that's debt is in our budget under long-term debt servicing. So
Yeah, it's
debt
already
service,
in,
it's in the operating budget.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's already covered.
Yeah, so this is the new
Yeah.
stuff. But
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I don't see in here is, I don't see the bonding for the $5 million for the special town meeting. Where's that? So that debt service, is that, oh, that would be in the operating budget.
It's in your operating budget.
It's in the
Yeah.
operating budget, right, okay.
And the other thing that does is it actually adds to the
Exclusion.
excluded debt
Yeah.
here, doesn't it? So that's
Wait,
why.
wait. I thought I understood, but the $5 million for the town meeting, what are we talking about?
The special town meeting.
Special town meeting?
So we've
$5 million
got, so
for what?
for the
Fire
land
station.
purchase and the design.
Okay, so
That's excluded.
That's debt exclusion.
that's
Debt
exclusion.
And
Okay.
it's in the
But-
But it
budget.
has to be paid for.
It has to be paid for.
Right, but it
Yeah.
should be in the operating budget, yes? Yes, Ray
Yeah.
Jean's saying it's in the
Yeah.
operating budget.
That's the $116,000 that
Right.
got added to the operating budget.
Okay, all right.
Yep. Because we talked about that a few weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
We can confirm that. Can you guys just confirm that
This
for
is why I
us?
want that sheet.
It's not in there.
But yeah, but that's on the old
Okay,
sheet,
Rachel.
actually.
I don't like that. I saw you say it may not be in there, although we talked about it.
116,000.
The 116,000 should be in
You
there,
can
'cause we
add it.
talked about it
You
a
can
couple of
add it.
weeks ago.
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can we
Yeah.
just confirm it
Yeah.
at some point?
I
Not like
remember,
right
I
now,
remember
but
seeing it get added to that.
My
line.
bad.
Does it seem like a low payment?
It's only a half a year. So the way these
It's
bands work,
It's on, it's a ban, yeah.
yeah, it's a band, it's interest only, and the payment, because I have it, I actually have
I
it.
trust you guys, it's okay.
Yeah, I have the sheet, and it's like a small payment for the first year
Okay.
on both
I
bands.
can't remember that.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, we have that data actually, we have the sheet.
It's in the sheet.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Okay, so that's where that
It's
is.
in there.
It is in there, great, okay, thank you. Thank
Um,
God,
My bad. I thought you were talking something else.
because it would really suck if the FinCom decided on February 17th we need an override. That would be really tough for everybody to take.
We've got plenty of excess capacity.
So this is our voting sheet. So just to let you know, this block here, F through I, is the current ClearGov numbers. Okay,
Okay,
and then B through D here is the last set of numbers or a previous set of numbers.
okay,
And so you can see here what changed from that set to this set. So 19,000 came out from the police budget.
okay, yep.
205 got added to the veterans budget. There was some restructuring there.
That was already hot.
And 1,500 came out from Retcom, based on last year's conversation. So the total budget went down by 20,295.
Great.
Keep it up.
So all those numbers then got transferred over here onto the voting sheet. And the question is, can we vote any of these now?
Well, we wanted to
I guess
wait
we
for
can't
the
do,
big
we
ones.
can't do, the anything with grey we can't really do because we still have questions.
But I think we can do the community service, council on aging, and the veterans, because it says contract, but isn't that what this
Yeah,
205
Yes,
is?
as it was, yeah.
Yeah, so we could do that.
And we've
We could
had,
do
we've seen
Retcom.
Ed, so that's we can vote 192, I think.
We can vote which one?
Wait, sorry, say again?
192 buildings and maintenance.
We voted that already.
Did we vote it? No, we didn't.
Well, it's green.
It's green saying we can vote it, but we didn't vote it.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Where's the,
Building and grounds?
Building and maintenance, 192.
Yeah, you voted that.
Did we?
I
Yeah,
think so.
back on January
Where's the
27th.
votes on this? Hold on.
Yeah, looking at my minutes.
Ah. Well, I didn't, and I failed to,
Do you have a cell? over there?
Register it.
Looks like there's,
I feel like
Which
we're
line?
missing.
Why am I not seeing this, Tony? Because I'm S and T. Oh, okay, so there's a bunch of lines in between.
yeah, you don't have to vote for row 24.
Yeah, I don't have either.
did we vote already?
I don't have
Are
that.
you saying that we voted 192?
192 was voted on January 27th for
Okay.
209,661.
Yep,
What
that's
was the
right.
vote, Gary?
6-0.
6-0.
And you did facilities also.
Yeah, facilities, we show that we did that one.
Yeah, I don't have it for 129 or 192 either, and I'm calling them out and typing them in, so.
Mm.
Okay, so okay.
We
Um,
can, okay.
So we're not going to vote police because we're all in dispute about that at the moment.
And we're not gonna vote fire because we're waiting for him to come back. Regional school. Is the school, no, they haven't taken their final vote, so we can't do that yet.
Can we vote all this public work stuff now? We probably can, right?
Yes. Yeah, because he's not changing anything.
I think it's changing there, is it? So I'm going to
Yeah.
delete those. We never asked about cemetery, did we? But that's probably leave that, I think, for now. So we can probably vote all this block here, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember what the question was about cemetery.
I just wanted to know what the cemetery superintendent did, actually.
Oh, okay, so that's Ed,
Yeah.
personally. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That was what that question was.
Yeah. So yeah, so we can vote 422 onwards if you want to do that. Should we do that?
Sure.
Sure,
Do you want to call them out, Joe?
sure.
Give
I
me 30
move.
seconds, hold on.
Sure,
I want to go back to January 27th minutes for 1 minute.
no problem.
Okay.
Want to check that.
All right, so we're gonna do all the public works, animal inspector, we did that one already. Cemetery,
Yeah.
did we get the question answered on the mosquitoes? Large
No.
increase, no?
We
Oh,
we
Alec.
said Alec, didn't we, after that?
Veterans we can do, Hillary, we can do Retcom, right?
Yeah.
Because that got decreased.
We're not
Is that
contribut-
official and locked in? I don't, you know.
The decrease?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
because last week they were,
No, they did it and that was sent, it's in this.
okay,
Yep.
Yeah, we met with them last week.
cool.
So I take it back, we passed over the utility, building and maintenance.
Okay,
Oh,
There was a question about, on the playground utilities at the time.
which we didn't even ask them about.
I don't know if you resolved that.
yeah.
I will correct my minutes.
Okay, so we have to go
Okay.
back up and vote.
Okay, so let's just vote 192 then.
All right.
Joe, do you want to call them out?
Yep. I move that we recommend the building and maintenance budget, line 192, non-salary 209,661, salary 0, for a grand total of $209,661.
Second.
All in favour?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
I'm sorry, who seconded?
Me.
Thank you.
You want to do all of them?
Okay,
it makes
so
sense.
we're
Yeah, I'll second all of them.
5-0.
If I agree.
Yeah.
It's 217. Okay. So next one then will be 422.
All right. I move that we recommend the Public Works Maintenance Budget, line 422, non-salary 225,700, salary 837,619, for a grand total of $1,063,319.
All in favour?
Second.
Aye. Ooh,
Right.
yeah, second.
Second.
Sounds like you
Hello.
people, don't cut me off.
And I.
Aye.
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 I don't know why this makes me dyslexic. All right. I
What's your
move
thing?
that we recommend the Public Works Snow and Ice budget, line 423, non-salary 114,297, salary 92,293, for a grand total of $206,590.
Second.
I'm sorry, 2065.
90.
90.
Yep.
Thank you.
All in favour?
Aye.
Aye.
I move that we recommend the Public Works Street Lighting budget, line 424, non-salary $2,200, salary 0, for a grand total of $2,200.
Second.
All in favour?
Aye.
Aye.
Right.
Just pausing for minutes catch up. I move that we recommend the Public Works Fuel budget, line 429, non-salary $66,800, salary 0, for a grand total of $66,800.
Second.
All in favour?
Aye.
Right.
Aye.
I move that we recommend the Public Works Hazardous Waste budget, line 431, non-salary $10,000, salary 0, for a grand total of $10,000.
Second.
All in favour?
Aye.
Aye.
Right.
And I move that we recommend the Public Works Transfer Station budget, line 433, non-salary $174,500, salary 0, for a grand total of $174,500.
Second.
All in favour?
Aye.
Aye.
Right.
Doing cemetery?
Cemetery, yeah,
Alright.
yeah, 491.
I move that we recommend the cemetery budget, line 491, non-salary $2,300, salary $5,000, for a grand total of $7,300.
Second.
All in favour?
Aye.
Right.
Okay, I'm waiting
Okay.
on that one. What about community service?
So, yeah, community services, do we want to vote that? Be a question about training costs,
But
maybe?
we talked about that last week
Yeah, yeah,
with Mike.
yeah, okay, I'm
I
fine.
think it was
Yeah,
okay,
let's go for it then.
because there was something about she needs to certify or
Yeah,
some.
yeah,
such
yeah.
thing.
529 then, Joe.
All right, I move to recommend the community services budget line 529, non-salary 24,500, salary 66,595, for a grand total of $91,095.
Second.
All in favour?
Aye.
Aye.
Joe, can you read that off again, please?
Yes, non-salary 24,500, salary 66,595, grand total 91095.
And that's for what budget?
That is for community services 529.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Retcom, you think we should leave?
So it was, because we had said to them, we need to see what you're gonna transfer into the revolving account to be paid for, right? Didn't we talk about that? Or am
Yeah.
I like,
We wanted to see like a pro forma budget, didn't we,
right,
for the revolving
right.
account?
For the
yeah.
revolving account, should we move more stuff from your budget that has to do with FLARA into the
Yeah.
revolving account?
Yeah.
And so I think we should wait on that. I don't know what this $1,500 decrease is, but we should.
Well,
might
that's what
follow-
we thought, didn't we, last week, because we said if they can cover the whole of FLARA
Yeah.
from the FLARA income, then they would need less money for the other expenses
Right.
because they were using that budget line for some of the FLARA expenses, I think.
Right, so is the 1,500 cover that? So what about the 10, which is,
The 10 should be within the revolving
and it
fund.
wasn't, I don't think it was last week. I think it was in the budget, so, and the 10's not $1,500, that was a little bit more.
It's more than that, yeah, but I thought she said that they could cover it within the revolving.
I thought so
fund.
too. So I think there's still questions, and we were waiting for information on the revolving fund.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm not,
I just don't know whether, I need to get her back then, I think, or at least talk to her, I think, maybe I can just talk to her.
I think, do you remember? I mean, am I
do.
remembering this?
I think we told them they didn't have to come back unless there was a big increase, but at least in Gary's minutes, and I kind of remember that being the sentiment, but it would be kind of good to just get a final word
Well, I
on
could-
what
I could
happened.
call-
And then
I could
again,
call- yeah.
finance team and Rajan met with them, so can you confirm exactly what was moved, or should we?
Well, either Rajon can reach out to Hillary and get a sort of like a budget for the revolving fund, or I can do that. I mean, could you do that, Rajon?
Yeah, we can reach out to,
Yeah.
So this budget that you have, all other expenses, right there. So there's a line item for $10,800, which is still in this budget that we're working off of tonight. All expenses, Amy's Travels, Winterfest, Creedon, and the Throne Depot, $10,000. That includes the tent, and that's still in this budget. And I thought they were talking about moving the tent into the revolving account.
Well, is the
which
tent in the budget, or is it just that note still remains in?
Well,
there you go.
it's still $10,800.
I thought that's for other things, though, not including the tent.
Should we just ask them?
Yes.
Kind of,
Yeah.
can you show us
We're-
what the
we're-
latest is in the revolving fund, where it's gonna be?
Yeah.
And how it's gonna impact your 2027 budget?
And what's in the other expenses line?
Right.
So
That's what
we
we
can
need to
find
know.
Because, yeah,
Yeah.
just to confirm it.
Whatever changes you make, whatever impacts the budget, make sure it's reflected in the application.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll leave that for now.
Mhm.
I think we can vote 710 and 751.
Oh, wait, veterans, did we vote veterans?
Oh, veterans.
Yeah, veterans
We can do. Yeah, let's do veterans. Yeah, 543.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I move that we recommend the veterans budget line 543, non-salary 38,025, for a grand total of.
No. 38,230. I've got.
38230.
Oh, sorry, because I'm taking notes, I'm using an older budget. I'm using last week's numbers. Sorry. So it is non-salary 38,230, salary 0, for a grand total 38,230.
Second.
All in favour?
Aye.
Aye.
Pop that one open.
Yeah, I can just freeze these rows for you too.
Okay, so we can do 710.
Which is the debt.
Sorry, I just lost my place. Okay, I think I got the same number, yep. Okay.
862.
I vote that, or I move that we recommend the retirement of debt budget, line 710, non-salary 862,994, salary 0, for a grand total of $862,994.
Second.
I have a different amount.
What do you have?
I have 925,174. Oh, because I included the short term, I think that's. the
Because what?
line, the
You
different
got both
line.
together.
Yeah, because I put it all together.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Good, because
You
you
have
just gave me a little
925.
stroke,
Yeah.
because now I'm like, we're under $1 million. This is not okay.
Sorry.
Yep, two
Okay,
lines
yeah,
together.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, there's interest included, yeah.
So yeah, I second.
Okay, all in favour?
Aye.
Right.
It's mine.
All right, I move to recommend the other half of that number that Hongwa had. I move to recommend the interest on long-term debt budget, line 751, non-salary 62,180, salary 0, for a grand total of $62,180.
Second.
All in favour?
Aye.
All right.
Let's do that up. Anything
Okay,
else?
the rest of them are not in green, so I don't think we can vote them yet.
We don't have final numbers on the insurance
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
And Board of Health are waiting for mosquito stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we meet with our rep, I think within the next 2 weeks, so.
Okay. And we haven't had any change with respect to the vocational budget yet? Nothing? We haven't heard anything? Okay.
Okay.
So we're
Okay.
We're
Anything
in
else?
really
in-
good
in
shape voting
waiting
these
mode now,
budgets.
yeah.
So we're in really good shape, though.
Okay. Anything else on FY27 budget we want to think about? Okay. I've got next school committee updates and preview discussion points for 3/3/26. So they're coming in on the 3rd of March.
Okay.
I mean, what do we want to ask or say to the school committee?
You really want me to answer that question?
ask. What do we want to ask?
Do we want to re-litigate what we discussed in the last
What
meeting?
can we ask? I think we made our point very clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, I would,
I'd like to commend them, quite frankly, and I will do that, I think.
Well, I think our questions are more to do with future years, aren't they, really,
Yeah.
rather than this year? Like, this year, we're sort of like, we're squeaking in under the
Right.
wire, really.
I mean, we went to that meeting and, you know, the problem I had is when I looked at the FTEs, we need to get a better understanding on the FTEs, right? Because we like saved all these FTEs and then we backfilled all these
Yeah,
FTEs.
that point was made, that was a great
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, I think we
What-
need to
what are
make
you
it
doing?
again.
Yeah.
We need what?
I think we need to say it again when they're here. So we get a better, I mean, we made that point, but maybe give them a heads up that we would like a better, little bit, I don't wanna hear that a principal is one FTE, but it saves X number of dollars and an aide doesn't. I wanna understand, you know, kind of, we went through all this and this is a lot of pain for the community. And, you know,
Well, yeah,
Does
I
this
mean,
make
that's
sense?
my expectation, right, that we're going to sort of merge these schools together and you should have big economies.
and you don't.
Yeah.
I think what we need to also is to make sure that the economies are obtained or at least explored with regard to teaching methodologies. I want to make sure that they are trying to, like,
Get the
not have
curriculums all together.
separate systems for each school.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much it costs to maintain that, but
Yeah.
I'm sure it's more than one.
Well, because if you've got 5 different math programs,
Exactly.
then
That's what I'm
each one of
talking
those math programs costs money.
There's like no
Exactly.
efficiency there.
There's no efficiency there.
Exactly.
So like they're buying separate materials and complete
Yes.
separate
Yeah.
plans,
Yes.
everything?
Yeah, there's also just a kind of an expertise cost. You know, you don't get all the collective
Yeah.
knowledge all using the same platform. It may
Yeah.
not be perfect, but if it gets you 80% there, it's better than 5 different platforms.
Doesn't it mean someone's getting shortchanged too? Like, isn't one of those gonna be the better of them?
Well, I think
It
that's why they
could.
voted to.
You know, certainly.
But they're gonna
rid
say,
of school choice,
understandably, that it's gonna, different ones appeal to different students.
Right, there's different, but that's but now that they're doing this, we're not gonna have that. We're not gonna have the different teaching methods, presumably, that's kind of a question we should,
Well, we're not sure, are we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they claimed when they voted down school choice, right?
I don't think, they voted down.
That was part of the claim, which
Yeah.
is that like,
But
it's gonna
it's-
be equitable.
Well, school choice means geographical choice.
Right,
But-
but they were making the statement that like,
Right.
it's gonna be equitable now, so it shouldn't matter, which is clear.
but Miriam's
It was
school
never
was much
explicitly
different than the
said.
Blanchard school,
Yeah.
right?
I think it was heavily implied, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, there's a lot of implications, then you come down to what they plan, and there's,
A
not everything's
non-answer
formalized,
answer,
so.
Yeah, non-answer answer, okay.
I mean, my understanding, that's the problem, it's really deciphering rumors from, right? My understanding is now there's talk about all the teachers getting thrown into a pool and we're just gonna like throw them into different schools. I mean, it's just chaos on top of chaos.
Yeah,
So
but that's not really our concern in a way,
it's
is it?
not, maybe.
It's not a FinCom issue.
I know, but, it just feels like
Yeah.
it would be nice to get some straight, I mean, they've done a lot, this has been very difficult for them, I will give
No
them
question.
credit, like the fact that I mean, they're putting up with some serious pushback from the community right now. And we asked them to do that, but, so this year it's gonna take $1 million to implement this change. Next year, does that mean we get the $1 million like savings? Like what happens next year? Cause I got a feeling it's not
So
gonna change.
Next year, to hire a new superintendent,
So
that's probably
hang on,
not,
hang on,
not
though.
cheap.
So where do you get that $1 million from?
So it was $1.8 million in savings, from what I understand, on one of the slides that I saw.
Okay.
800,000 in savings, and it's about $1 million to implement this new program. I don't, so now, again, I guess that's the question we could ask, are these numbers right?
Yeah, implement, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to make some,
There's some cost in implementing
have
this
some
program.
points here that we want to sort of give them maybe a heads up of things that we
Yeah,
want to talk
yeah,
about.
so, yeah.
But the bottom line reached essentially our target, right? It's like 3.56 was the assessment increase, if I'm remembering correctly.
Five
Correct me.
point-
5 point.
Yeah,
5.2, I thought.
It's 5
Yeah.
point, was it
5.2. And the thing is, and I will say this, I'm slightly annoyed that, it was gonna be this range from here to there, but then Acton said, no, we can only afford this. And so now the range went away because Acton couldn't afford it. When Boxborough can't afford it, it doesn't really matter. We still are in this range, suck it up, Buttercup. So I don't like that very much.
The other thing we need to, I mentioned this earlier, but we can't forget, is their geographic consultant, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
We need to understand where he's gonna get his projections for, because.
Yes, we talked about that.
Really, we should, I mean, I'd like to be able to ask him directly, but I think they did, he said, don't ask them until we get clearance. There was something about that, they didn't want us asking directly, for some reason.
We were gonna be told when you
When we
could
could,
ask,
yeah.
yeah.
And the reason for that is those projections really impact the cost sharing
Mhm.
in a crazy factor. So, as bad as that news might be, we wouldn't wanna have and who knows how accurate they can forecast it. We'd wanna get some insight on that. Because we all know our own numbers are kind of wacky, but.
It would be interesting to see if he goes to
And
a
we-
different source.
Exactly, that's the important part.
Right, compared to where they're
I think we
going.
should mandate almost as much as we can that he does it
Either-
independently.
Right, well, that's the question. Do they do it independently? And if they do, great, and if not, they can't use our numbers, because we need to really, their numbers seem crazy to me. I mean, I've seen the plans for some of this housing down by the South Acton train station.
Yeah.
It's a significant amount of housing,
Right.
and I'm not convinced that people aren't moving in with kids.
And so, when are we meeting now?
3rd of March.
Isn't their timeframe gonna be almost done by then?
They are gonna vote, they're voting that week, I think.
Yeah, their
Or the
timeframe
week
is really
after.
quick, so.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to change what the budget number is. I mean,
No, but just getting that question to their geographic specialist,
Right.
it sounded like his first phase of work was going on right now. as we
Well,
speak.
we could
Yeah, I think we
ask
should
it
just-
before then, maybe.
Yeah, well,
You could ask him,
Yeah.
you're the school committee liaison, so.
I'll ping him and just let him know.
I'd also like to understand, and I asked this question from Peter, but he sort of like, oh, they have that figured out. How are they paying for a superintendent search? That's gonna cost $100,000. Like, where's that money coming from? Is that from the extra money, from the reserve fund? Like, I just would like to have an idea. Is it budgeted? Because if it's budgeted, does that mean next year that goes away? I'm back to that kind of, you don't get to budget and backfill. So where's that money coming from?
and hiring new is more than someone's step or whatever they would get too. So I mean,
Well,
your operating budget's going to be bigger just by default, even without paying
Yeah.
to recruit, right?
Yeah, and you have to pay to recruit because you got to get
Yep.
salary survey from the recruiter.
Yep.
You know, I'd actually love to get a rundown on how that's going to take place. I just don't think they're there yet,
No,
you know, but,
no,
because
okay.
that's quite an undertaking.
Anything else on school committee? You guys can go if you want to, do you want to?
Okay.
Yeah,
Unless you want to hang out with us.
yeah, up to you.
Thank you.
Wow, all right, fine, whatever.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, calendar going forward, we can just review that quickly, I think. So, next week we have the planning department and land use, and I've got personnel board coming back as well.
They were going to come back to talk about the grading of the jobs, but
We don't
now
need to do that now.
we may not need to do that
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Yeah, so I did talk to Alec this week, and they do want to do a salary survey, so that's the thing that, because we had asked for that as well, so we
Yeah.
can't really deny that, I don't think, if we
Right.
said, but it sounds like there'll be no regrading done this year.
Right. So
So-
we don't need them to come back for that. And then the select board needs to put it on the warrant, and presumably we'll pay free cash out of that
Yeah,
for
yeah.
that. That'll be added as
Yeah,
a warrant
and
article.
then the following week we've got the school coming in, and then the week after that we've got the special town meeting.
Come right up.
Oh, are we gonna schedule a meeting for before special town meeting,
Good
just in
question, yeah,
case?
suppose we ought to, yeah.
Like
Just
right before?
post it
Yeah.
the night
Yeah.
before,
And
and get a
is-
room, because we're at the school.
That's at the school this
Well,
time?
do we need a room, because it's expensive, isn't it?
No, we're at the
No,
school.
Oh, it's school, okay.
Yeah, so it
all
would be like the library or something.
Yeah.
right. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
And I would say, no, if we're at the Regency, we should just meet at the table like we used to do.
Yeah,
And if someone came up, we put our hands up and said, we're in executive session. Or-
And we're saving money.
Exactly.
yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's that then. So committee and liaison reports, I've got a couple of things that you want to just throw out there.
Wait,
Just-
I have something on calendar. Did the annual town meeting move back a week?
It's the 18th,
Was it
Tuesday.
not?
It was supposed to be at the Regency the week after that.
Right.
But,
It's just- Yeah,
but because of the cost at the Regency and the fact we're not having an override, the select board decided we could just do it at the school.
So this is the original date, but it wasn't available at the Regency, which is why that date got bumped, and I think it's
Yeah.
going back to the original now.
What's-
as-
This is
the-
not the original date.
Okay.
The
Or-
original
really?
is the second.
Yeah.
May the,
So it's
So
moved
normally
3 days.
it would have been
Yeah,
May
like-
the 11th. It's the second Monday of the month is the
Okay.
start of town meeting, the second
Right.
Monday of May.
so is it the 18th or the
It's
19th
the,
though?
it's actually Tuesday, the 19th.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Good. That's
Tuesday,
good.
the 19th.
Becky Harris
The
corrected my thing
second Monday
there.
of the month is
So was it Tuesday
the
rather than?
11th.
That's when it
Yeah.
normally is.
So they
I
moved it
planned
from
my
that.
family vacation around this town.
I told them that when they were starting to
Thank
screw
you.
around with the dates.
Well, I'm gonna be in Italy, but
On the,
yeah,
on the
you guys
19th?
off. Yeah.
Yeah, see? I told them that. I said, people plan their dates. They're like, whoa, we have plenty of time. Okay. And then they went to the Regency and
Okay.
then they pushed it back, so,
Just just saying.
yeah, go to
Yeah.
Italy.
Yeah,
a
I'm
nice
not
glass
gonna
of
Well,
book
wine.
my trip, but
they have Zoom there, don't they?
Yeah, seriously.
I'll go to Italy
Is
with her.
that like-
Hey,
is
why don't we
that
go
illegal?
together and we can
Well,
like,
we can
we can
have
all
forum.
Zoom together. Yeah, we can have a forum.
You guys can join me in Tuscany. But I saw that and I just
Yeah.
asked.
Yeah.
I was like, what happened here?
Yep, I
Yeah.
think that's gonna be a problem for a lot of people, but
Yeah.
Okay.
anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
I digress. I was just curious.
So you
Okay.
have
Sorry,
two
we can
things?
keep going.
Yeah, so personal board, I did send out everyone today, we got a list of all the real estate tax outstanding,
I saw that.
which is quite an interesting
Mm-hmm.
read. There's a lot of people who owe for every single year, it seems, some big
So,
numbers.
right, so the question is, like, I mean, a little more detail on some of these people. If they're there every year, are they dead?
Yeah.
Like, is this something where, like, it's in probate?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see the names. I missed
Oh, the names
that.
all there.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
they're
and-
on there.
and
It's
the
like a whole
rest of
list.
it,
It's
yeah.
So
not
when
insignificant.
Emily
It's 70
suggested at some point, maybe
It's not
hanging a
insignificant
list of the names,
amount.
when I first moved into town, there was a list
Oh, yeah.
this long
Yeah.
taped
So-
to the wood next to the window. So when you went in to pay your taxes, you saw all the people who were like
But the other question I had actually was, I looked at one of them at Random, which is like a condo somewhere,
Last 10 years.
and that, it was a 2019 tax owing, a couple of thousand, whatever. That condo had been sold since then.
So that should be paid at the because that would be presumably a lien.
Presumably we can't get that money back now, I don't think.
Well, but it should have been, so when the attorneys did they should have checked the lien
Well, I don't know.
and gotten a municipal lien certificate.
Does it mean there's no lien on it? Because another column there says liens, there's no liens listed.
So if we didn't put the lien on it, when the attorney called, they'd say there was no lien on it and no taxes owed.
So that would be vital.
So that's gone, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I wonder how many of those there are actually. That's
Yep.
my concern.
So this is her first pass, it sounded like,
Yeah, yeah.
which is it's a heck of a lot better than it has been in the past, so.
Right,
Then
right.
she can just clean it up from there.
Yeah, yeah. So there's that. Have a look at that and see what you think, and we can. And Emily did say she'd come in at some point when we got the budget stuff done, and we can discuss all this stuff in more
Okay.
detail.
You can also look at the increase in LLC as owner throughout the last 10 years. It's an
Sad.
Yeah, a
interesting
lot of
trend
these
there, huh?
condos are sort of owned by other people. It
Right,
seems. Yeah,
right.
An
Because they were
unfortunate
so
trend.
cheap
yeah,
that a lot of people bought them for investment.
yeah. And the other question I have to get answered is open space, the CPC open space thing, which I know we've talked about before,
Right,
but
so
now.
Alec is coming in.
Yeah. So, yeah, I suppose that would be okay for next week then, right? Because Kelly's asked me which option we want to leave in the warrant. And
Well, we haven't voted it, and
No,
the select board hasn't voted it.
well, select board are asking us what we think.
Well, I know what I think, and I know how I'm gonna vote. But Alec's gonna be here next week.
I talked to John Fallon. He doesn't really mind whether the CPC pays for it or not. He's happy to pay it. Yeah, that they
He
pay
just,
for it.
I talked to him today at COA, and his attitude is, we did our job, we're neutral, you guys figure it out.
Yeah, I know. So it's
That's
sort of,
fair.
it's sort of bouncing around, and yeah.
It just doesn't, doesn't sit right with me, so.
So we want to wait until we get Alec here and have another.
Or, I mean, well, it's not on the, well, I guess technically it's part of the 27 budget, we can talk
So,
about it.
so we have to vote both options before it goes to
We
warrant?
have to decide.
We've got to decide
and
what
vote.
goes in the
But
warrant.
both
Yeah.
are going into the warrant, or?
We, like,
No,
CPC
only one option
will go
prepared,
in.
Okay.
CPC prepared for both scenarios, just
Yeah.
because we were we canceled our meeting for Feb, so we wanted to have like
Right.
options.
So
before
so
special
here's
town
my
meeting.
thought. No different than we talked about the revolving fund for RecCom, and we said, okay, but we need to have some budget around that. That's my concern with all of a sudden, instead of having $10,000 a year going into the Conservation Trust fund to pay for engineering, whatever, in case, if a piece of land comes up and we don't wanna wait to do the engineering portion of it. Now all of a sudden, we're putting more money, 20 grand, 25 grand more into this revolving fund, which doesn't fully cover that, but now is in this revolving fund that again, we're not seeing budgets for. So, I mean, how many of these revolving funds do we have? And so to me,
So
it's
our
not a lot
concern
different.
is the fact that it's in revolving funds that we don't really know what's in them.
There's no transparency, and that is not what that fund was meant for. That fund was
So
meant.
that's two stories.
It's the transparency, and I think it's not it's not anything about the Conservation Commission. It's like Sam said to me, well, what are you worried they're gonna spend the money on something else? It's not about trusting the Conservation Commission. It is about setting up, how are we gonna do this? We've gone in, through the years, we've established revolving funds for specific reasons. And it's easy to deviate from those reasons, but then we end up with all these little slush funds all over town that we're not seeing budgets for. And there's
So the other option is
transparency.
then the Conservation Trust Fund does, what are the two options? Can you remind me what?
So it would be $10,000 to the Conservation Trust like they do every year
Yeah.
to have in that fund in case something comes up and they need
Right.
to pursue trying to purchase land. And
As a warrant article
for CPC,
for CPC.
yeah,
Okay,
that's what
right,
it would
Right
be.
there, that sounds legitimate.
That is what it's always been. That
Yeah.
I'm in favor of.
Yeah, that's status quo.
Right?
Okay.
Then if you do that, then we take that space, open space and needs, and put it into a warrant article and pay for it out of free cash. And the town gets to see it and vote on it. It's clear, it's in the public, it's transparent. Alec is saying, it might hurt our chances of getting a grant. I've never heard of that before. We do things like this all the time. We've done this for fire trucks, we did it for the generator at Blanchard. We put the whole thing in a warrant article for $300,000 to be used if, we don't get the grant. If we get the grant, it will be some number less than that, we got the grant. It's not like they said, ooh, they have $300,000. So I've never heard of his reasoning behind it. We're not gonna get a grant because we might have the
So
money.
if we're all, do we all feel the same way about this? I mean, I'm fine with this as well. I mean, doing it in the traditional way,
Yes.
revolving
Yeah,
funds.
Yeah.
it sounds like there's
aligned.
more transparency, and it's also what it's for originally,
Yeah.
right?
I think including the the Open Space and Recreation Plan, in that, adding that to the CPC request
Mhm.
is just like an extension that's unnecessary, and it's also out of the scope of what that was
Right.
originally used for.
Right.
So, unless we're like having a broader discussion on like reorganizing everything, like restructuring CPC and restructuring OSRP in
Yeah.
like
No.
the future.
So we're
Which
saying
I
it's
don't
beyond
think
the
we're
scope of the CPC to be funding that.
The
Uh,
OSRP.
It should be funded.
It's not, that's not one reason, it's not beyond the scope, because the conservation has a bucket. Now, what it should be, frankly, if CPC wanted to fund it, I would be okay with that as a separate warrant article,
Right.
not going into the conservation fund trust.
Right,
Right.
yeah.
It should have been Alec going to them and saying, hey, we need $30,000 for open space and recreation, you have a bucket that fills that purpose.
Right, I should clarify, when I say out of scope, it's for the trust specifically.
Yes,
It's out of
out of
scope
scope
for
for the trust.
The CPC could totally fund
Right,
the open
right.
space and recreation plan.
Right, and I would be okay with that as
But
a
just
separate
not
warrant
out of,
article,
like,
just like
The trust
all the
bucket.
rest of them, right? Reccom has a separate warrant article, whatever it is.
Just not out of the trust bucket.
Right, it's coming out of the trust fund that makes me, that I
Okay.
don't like, so.
Do we need to vote on this, or can we
I
just?
think we should vote on it, and then you should send a memo to the select board chair and say, this is the FinCom decision.
Yeah, okay, so what's the motion here then?
There's like a warrant article number.
Yeah, I got two warrant
It
articles.
was like one
She
and one
sent,
A or something.
Kelly sent me the two warrant articles.
Yeah, I
Okay,
can
so
pull it
I
up.
think it should be, I don't know that I would go with the numbers, because, hold on, because sometimes the numbers change. It should be, vote to, I move to approve CPC article for open space and conservation trust fund in the amount of $10,000.
Yeah,
Is this
they're
one
both
here on the
called,
screen now?
yeah, they're both called Article 1, so I think that's right.
Yes, that
What
one.
about the other half of it? So if we vote on this, then the only way the open space and recreation fund plan gets funded is through the.
A warrant article,
Right.
but can also still request CPC funds.
Right, but without that warrant article existing, for me to vote no on this
Yeah, but it
feels
does, it
kind
does.
of like now there's no plan to
No,
fund
no,
the open space and
the
recreation
select
plan, so-
board said at our budget Saturday, they would add a warrant article.
Yeah.
Right,
Once-
if this gets voted.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
like
okay.
we're gonna add a warrant article, they they open and close the warrant all the time.
We're not.
Because for what it's worth, every research I've done says that the Conservation Trust Fund can be used to fund the Open Space and Recreation Plan, and our town planner agrees. Although it's not the precedent, and it's.
And that's not what it was originally set
But-
up for when the town planner
Yeah,
wasn't
But
here.
when I've researched it, and,
Outside
admittedly,
town.
I'm using some AI tools that are searching for me instead of reading the full legalese, I've only come back with, yes, it is fully within the scope of the Conservation Trust Fund to fund the Open Space and Recreation Plan.
Okay,
Okay,
vote no.
well, that's not precedent.
You can vote
so-
no.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just
Yeah.
No, that's
putting it
fair,
out
that's
there,
fair.
like, there's disagreements, but everything I've found that's, outlined in the actual verbiage of the laws of this town and the state of Massachusetts says that it is acceptable, so.
Where is the documentation that describes the original?
I don't know, this has been set up for,
When was
Gary,
it
when
set
did
up?
they set this up? Because originally it was 5,000 for a lot of years.
It's at least 10, probably 12, 13, 15 years ago.
It's gotta be
It's been a
15
long
years
time.
ago.
And it was set up specifically, that's what you're saying, for the usage when land comes to a town, they have some money to go and do surveying and other expenses.
Right.
It was for the purchase of town land.
Exclusively to do that.
That's what it was designed for. And then they bumped it up arbitrarily to 10,000, which I fought for a few years and lost, and I gave up. But it's meant for that purpose, and not for just anything they want to throw into it.
I think you can interpret it in many different ways. I'm choosing to interpret this as like a positive that we can have more transparency on the OSRP and also still get CPC funding for that. And it doesn't disappear into like a trust type of thing that doesn't have the same oversights and mechanics. So
Yeah.
that's
Now,
how
Revolving
I'm feeling
fund.
about it.
Right.
You mean revolving?
Revolving.
Right.
Yeah, and this does not mean,
Trust
the
fund, yeah.
article that's gonna be added will be for the funding for the plan but not through CPC for
Right.
this year. It'll be straight up,
Sure.
you know, free cash,
Yeah.
however we.
But I'm
yeah.
just saying, like, CPC could.
Yeah,
I don't know.
CPC could.
It's
have.
just-
So I'm
Good
getting
bring
that the Conservation Trust Fund was established March 4th, 1963 for the development.
1963?
Yeah,
In
Dude,
Boxborough?
way more than 15 years.
I wasn't around then.
1963. The Conservation Fund
In Boxborough.
in Boxborough, 1963, for the development and better utilization of natural resources of the town. The statutory definition is that it can be used for any lawful conservation purposes.
We haven't been funding this since 1963. So maybe that's a
It might have been a
conservation
different
commission.
fund.
It's something
Perhaps.
different. Because
Conservation trust.
when I first got into town, there was no $10,000 or $5,000 conservation fund. But, okay, so we need to vote on this, because I really don't want to be here all night.
Yeah, okay,
Or
so.
not, I mean, whatever you guys want to do. but-
So we're gonna vote on the 10,000, are we gonna vote on the other option, or just
Probably.
not?
I mean,
We'll vote on one, and if it passes, then we did, by default, we don't vote on the other one.
Okay, so,
So I did a motion. Did anyone second it?
No, not yet.
I'll second.
Okay.
okay, all in favour?
This is the non,
Vote
The
for
$10,000,
$10,000, yeah.
yep.
aye.
Aye.
Aye,
No.
okay, so it's, are you aye, Michelle?
Yep,
Yeah,
I'm
so
aye.
we're 4-1
Okay.
on that.
So you're gonna need to come, oh, so that means it doesn't go on the consent agenda, which means you're gonna need to do, a minority report.
I'm kind of not ready to fully voice my opinion, but as of
Okay,
now, based
so
on
right
where I
now,
am,
it
based
doesn't
on where I
matter
am,
if he
it's a no. But like, I'm still just
No,
like,
I know.
So this
there's
is just,
some
this is
pieces
just,
here that,
okay,
you
so
know.
this is, your
Yeah.
no vote is just on this process,
Yeah.
not on
Yeah.
the article itself.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you can just do an email to Kristen.
Yeah,
or Paul.
and maybe when we get to town meeting, we'll be 5-0 or 6-0 or
Right.
whatever,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
Okay.
sure we will,
'Cause you don't
because I
wanna
just
vote
want to make
against
sure
that.
it's getting
Yeah.
funded, and
Yeah,
if
yeah,
there's
yeah.
no other warrant on the table,
Yep.
Yeah,
then
that's
me
fine.
voting yes on this is.
You just don't want to vote down the OSRP.
Exactly.
Which,
Right.
like,
We've
same.
gotta have the OSRP.
We need it.
We know that. We all agree to that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, yep,
yeah.
okay.
Okay, so that's,
I get
that's,
that.
that's my stuff.
Okay.
Joe, anything from you, committee reports?
The only thing I have is update on the Board of Health, their well testing that I lofted. You probably have all seen it in Boxborough News. Beginning May 1st, 2026, property owners in Boxborough selling property with a private well will be required to have their water collected by an approved water sampler tested for a specific list of primary and secondary quality metrics at the cost of the seller or buyer to be negotiated.
It shouldn't be negotiated. The town should not dictate.
It's the same as like any other thing when you're selling a house, right? Like, you know, if there's a negotiation as far as who's paying for the realtors, who's paying.
Big brother.
Right?
You're not kidding. Total nanny state.
Nanny state to maybe
Damn it.
test your water. You know, I really want to be able
We
to,
want
like, you know,
poison interference.
I really want to be able to find out something's wrong with my property and pass it on to someone else. No, transparency is good. Also, it's public data points. You know, in this town, we got like some.
Well, historical
some-
data points are helpful.
Yeah, yeah, and as we know, you know, John Grevin's been giving us updates from the Water Resources Committee that they're having a big struggle with knowing the water quality in the town because there aren't enough people getting the water tested, and when they do, they're
And
not
you want to know why
submitted.
they're not getting the water tested? Because if they have PFAS, they don't want to have to disclose it.
Exactly. So let's perpetuate this thing where everyone's just pulling up the ladder behind them and poisoning the people that are younger
Dude,
moving into
dude,
town.
you know
How
what, the
about
people
we
who
get
are
the water
younger-
tested, and if it's bad, they fix it, and then everyone
I
has
moved
healthy water.
in with 3 babies and I tested my water.
Yeah.
That's what you do
I
when you
tested
buy a
my water
house.
too.
So anyway,
There was
okay.
lead in my water and it hadn't been tested.
So, there
Yeah.
you go.
I'm on.
I don't think it's Big
Protesting.
Brother at all.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
go ahead.
I'm all
Yeah.
for it.
Okay, Michelle, anything?
No, CPC was canceled this month.
Okay, yes, we
Easy.
talked about this. So Fire Station Building Committee, we're getting ready for town meeting. We have, on Monday night, we have an open, like information session, drop-in at the library, 2 to 8. So anyone who's interested in what town meeting's all about. And the fire station is the last Saturday of February. Will be open for an open house. For those of you who may not have toured the fire station, please do so you can see what it, like, why we need a new
Which
fire
day is that?
station. It's the next Saturday, a week from Saturday.
During, yeah.
In the meantime, we talked about this, and this comes directly to this group. So kind of the long and short of it is, when we were building the school, Gary can talk to this too, we put together a working group of the school building committee that was in charge of looking at the bonding. Specifically, that was their job. That group did so well, for real, that they were able to watch the market, and essentially, right after we got the funding, soon after, they were able to bond it at the lower rate and save the project $3 million, even though we barely broke ground at that point, but they got the bond early because of the rate. You did some investing. Did the school invest the bond? Or put it in a savings account, was
We
able
had
to
to be
get?
careful of arbitrage. We
Right.
couldn't get it, but we did receive the money up front.
Yeah,
I think we got like a rate of like 1.97.
yes.
I think it was more than $3 million in savings.
And
on-
they put it, you can put it in a savings account. You can't invest it and make like 30% on it, right? Because they don't want municipalities doing that. But you can put it in a savings account and get interest. So ultimately, they saved, Mary said around $3 million. If you think it's more than that, you were on the committee. So we would like to do the same type of committee for the building committee, going into the larger bond. So it would be, Mike, Emily presumably. I'm on the committee. It should be someone from the committee. I don't need to be on this working group. And somebody else from FinCom as well. I don't know enough about bond and finance and stuff, but, yeah. So, there was a specific request that maybe Gary could be on the committee as well. I don't know. Gary might have other things going on next year. We need to talk about that, but, because it's really something that we feel is like, we don't want to miss the market. We need people who understand the market, working with our bond agent, with Emily. Is that something FinCom's interested in? Do we think it's a good idea?
Yeah, we ought to be on that, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And could we find one or two people from FinCom to be part of that? And if it's one person, I'm happy. We need to have someone from did you have someone from the committee? Yeah, you were on the committee.
I was,
Yeah, and Jason was.
yeah, we were representing the FinComs.
Right. So, and who else? Do you have the FinCom members? You had I know that the finance director, what's his name, was on there?
I think it was just the two of us plus the school committee members.
Okay.
Peter Light and
Dave
the treasurer, whoever that was at the time.
Who?
Was it Margaret, maybe? Treasurer?
Tess. Was it
I
Tess?
think it was Tess.
It was Tess. Okay.
Did
So-
you have any special connections with municipal finance in any way?
Dave Vertolino wasn't part of that?
Oh, I'm sure he was.
I'm sure he was too.
Because he was the finance guy.
He was the finance guy, yep. So now we have Emily, and I think Emily is more than capable of, being on this committee. She's really good. So we got a good treasurer that we should take advantage of. And I don't mean that take for granted. I mean take advantage of the fact that we have a great treasurer. So we'd like to try to pull this together. I'll talk to Mary. We'll put it on our agenda for next week if you guys are all good with it. And then after town.
Can you be the person?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll be on it then?
I don't have to be. We should have a member of the fire station building committee on it.
Yeah.
I don't have to be. I am on the FinCom. I could find out if somebody else wants to be, but that way they can report back, and then so John doesn't need to come to our meetings and stuff, right?
Right.
So we can.
But these would be separate meetings, right? These wouldn't be
It would be a
meetings.
separate meeting. I don't know how
We only
often.
met maybe 3 times. It's
Yeah.
taking a look at where the bonding is now, where we're going,
Yeah.
and try to make a best estimate on what makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Usually, you bond after,
Yeah.
but the rates are just so low, it just made sense to start up front, and then it just worked out beautifully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're probably not going to be that lucky with the fire station, but maybe who knows what'll happen in a year with the rates. Okay, so I'll
Yeah.
let them know that definitely we'll have at least one person, maybe 2.
Yeah.
If you 2 want to be on there, I can find somebody else because we would be a quorum, right? We would be a quorum.
If,
So if the 3 of us were on that working group.
no,
we-
quorum's 4.
Is a 4, okay.
Yeah,
So,
we're 6.
all right,
Yeah.
all right, so even if you want to be on there as
Yeah,
well, if
I
anyone
may
else-
be interested in being on it as well, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
especially if they can do the meetings in the daytime rather than the evening.
Yeah, and I think, Emily, so I think probably they only met 3 times, but I'm sure it was on Dave Vertolino's radar, so
Yeah.
he was watching that, working with bond agents and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
so.
yeah. Okay,
And yeah, I think that's it.
okay. Anything, John?
No, nothing, school committee, I think it's 2 weeks. next
Okay,
week.
I'll take a motion to adjourn then.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favour?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned 9:13 PM.